following is a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to picturesque Winterholder Field on the campus of Taylor University, just a few short blocks from the bustling metropolis of downtown Upland, Indiana, where tonight the home team and the 2-seed Taylor Trojans have an opportunity to win their first opening round title in franchise history and make it back to the World Series for the first time in over 40 years. Standing in their way has been the hottest team in the opening round, 4-seed Point Park, who just knocked off the top seed Tennessee Wesleyan 6-5 in 10 innings. Rick Johnston, the Crossroads League Player of the Year, and the All-American Lincoln Reed by my side. My friend, you played for this team for 2 years. What is going through your mind as an alum of the program with your team on the precipice of making it back to the World Series?
Excited right now. Yeah, you can't help but be excited right now, Rick. This is a historic day for Taylor, making it this far after so many years. And, I mean, as an alum of this program, I'm so proud of how hard these guys have played this season and how well they played this tournament. And at this point, you just got to trust your game and go out there and just do the job that you know you have to do. You can't get caught up in kind of the bigness of the moment. You just have to take care of every pitch, every at-bat, every out. And like we talked about, just 9 innings away. And I think there's no better place to do it here than beautiful Winterholder Field.
The bigness of the moment, my friend, let's talk about the bigness of the crowd. We are at capacity here at Winterholder Field, a little behind the glass. We rope off the top seats of bleach, the top 2 seats, so folks can't stand in front of the camera. We might have an issue with that tonight because we still have people showing up trying to find a seat. Sorry, I'm trying to direct traffic with the girls here as they're trying to find their way over all the way. Anyway, I think I've done enough hand signals and we're good to go. Point Park, 39-16. Taylor, the 19th ranked team in the country, 39-15. The teams are on the field for starting lineups. We're going to have the national anthem. We're going to take our last commercial break. This has been the Marion General Hospital pregame show. When we come back, it's time for first pitch of championship game night from Winterholder Field. This is the NAIA Baseball opening round on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Life to the full for me looks like approaching every conversation as if it is for the kingdom and to the glory of God.
Life to the full to me means being present where your 2 feet are at.
When I think of life to the full, I think of joy, especially the Taylor body, the Taylor community, what Taylor has to offer.
The way we're equipping students to live life to the full is that we're helping them have a global humility.
There are so many things at Taylor that are preparing me to live life to the full. I love doing research and engaging in projects within my major, computer science, so I could go from programming 1 minute to doing a Bollywood dance and performing as part of Mosaic Night the next.
We have a lot of opportunity here to help students and to equip them to live life full now and well beyond their years at Taylor, and part of that is the intentionality we have with developing relationships with one another.
I'm experiencing life to the full at Taylor through the different opportunities that Taylor allows us to learn about different cultures, people, and places.
I love that we get to do chapel together 3 times a week. Nobody takes attendance. Nobody tells me I have to be there, but I get to be there.
I think I see that in sports, on the football field, in the throwing ring, in classes, and also in student leadership positions.
I experience life to the full at chapel because I get to play in a chapel band, and I get to sit up there and play piano and glorify God with one of my gifts.
The community gives me a sense of life to the full in that I get to see students go through their 4 years here, develop as intellectuals and scholars, be prepared for their vocations, and go out into the world and influence the world for Christ.
The 2C Trojans have taken the field in front of a packed house at Winter Holder Field. We're glad you're along for the ride tonight. As 2 teams left standing, we started with 5. We are down to 2. A win tonight by Taylor to the World Series. A win by Point Park. We're back here tomorrow at noon to then decide who goes to the World Series. On the mound for the Trojans is the Indiana Tech transfer Dalton Swinehart. He got the start yesterday, did not make it through the first inning. Through 42 pitches, went 2 1/3. It was a 4-0 Point Park lead as they kept Taylor at bay until the Trojans' offense found its rhythm in the late stages of that game yesterday, 12-10 final. It's the same batting order, Lincoln, that Point Park just trotted out in comeback fashion victory over Tennessee Wesleyan, and they'll have the same starting pitcher that ended it.
Yeah, we've seen nothing but good things from Point Park this whole entire tournament. When they've been down, they fought back. When they've been ahead, they have just laid on run after run. So no matter who comes out the victor in this contest, we are anticipating a really competitive ball game against 2 really good teams.
And an absolute electric atmosphere. I mean, we've had to wave people away from trying to sit in front of the camera so you folks can take this in at home. The defense behind Swinehart, the same we saw yesterday when these teams met. Braden Manning in left, TJ Bass in right, TJ Bass in center, Caleb Colpine in right. Cam Nepps, the third baseman, Ben Kennedy, the spectacular freshman's at short, Mason Davids at second, and Cade Vandermolen's at first, and Ben Calbaugh is doing the catching. There are still people filing in, trying to find a desperately few empty seats. Here in the stands, we have got folks lined up down the left side of the fencing. Omar Murillo, the switch-hitting second baseman, leads it off for Point Park. The Pioneers in the road gray with the green accents Taylor in the purple jerseys and the white pants. Swinehart deals inside. Ball one, and we're off and running at 6:25 p.m. Omar, a 340 average when the day started. Second one, he leaves up high, and it's 2-0 here from Swinehart. Murillo 1 for 4 in the opener here today against Tennessee Wesleyan. Third one from the quick-moving Swinehart. In the air, foul to the left. Dalton on the season, a 4-1 overall record. His 15th start, 16th appearance. A 5.86 ERA for the righty. 6'4", 215-pound sophomore. Fastball upstairs, 3-1, and the speedy Murillo trying to get on base for the first time. He was 1 for 4 yesterday in the loss to Taylor. Sun setting back to our left. The 3-1 to Murillo. Goes after it upstairs, and he's got the count full on two swinging foul balls. Murillo walked to lead off the top of the ninth in a 5-5 game. Leaves it high, looks and shakes his head no to the Taylor dugout. Discards his bat via a frisbee toss. And Murillo takes a confident, speedy walk and a little skip down to first. Swinehart walked 4 men in that 2/3 of an inning yesterday against this Point Park lineup, and a nice start here for the Pioneers. The batter is Isaac Santana, the lefty first baseman, who got that 4-run inning started with a 3-run launch against Swinehart yesterday. Taylor fans don't like the low ball call here to Santana.
Yeah, Swinehart was dealing with a very tight zone in his last outing. Looks like he has a similar fare here.
Fastball gets a strike here. Santana second on the Pioneers in average when the day started at 360. Was 0 for 3 with 2 walks in the win over Tennessee Wesleyan. Bouncer up the middle, could be 2, takes Kennedy right to second, scoops to second, high throw, Vandermolen gets it, that's a 6-3 double play. A wonderful start for the electric Ben Kennedy.
Kennedy, man, what a freshman year he's had. He gets a good read on that ground ball, comes up firing, just like that, 2 outs. And 1 away from going into the dugout and getting on the board.
This capacity crowd is ready to go insane. They were held quiet with the leadoff walk to Murillo. But Kennedy, the youngster at 19 years old, has brought him out of their seats. And here's the shift on for the Player of the Year in the River States Conference, Jared Campbell. And a breaking ball in for a strike. Where else would you want to be than Winterholder Field on a night like this? Just missing the bottom on the zone, Swinehart 1-1. Our post-game conversation last night brought to you by Nelson's, by the way. From Taylor head coach Kyle Gould, said the start yesterday for Swinehart not per usual. Upstairs fastball called for a strike from Jeremy Hosier, 1-2. That double play has looked to calm the nerves of Swinehart here.
Yeah, if you're Swinehart, you got to have a lot of confidence in those guys behind you and just go out and attack these batters.
1-2. One of the outside corner. Jared Campbell would not bite. It's 2-2. Jared out of Sunrise, Florida. We'll see his twin brother later. Has both a single-season home run and RBI record. He set the RBI record yesterday against Taylor. 2-2, elevated fastball, full count with a shift on to the left. Knepp, Kennedy, and the second baseman Mason David on the left side of second base. As Taylor has used the shifts early and often against their opponents in the opening round. Payoff to Campbell. Fouled it away, and just getting a piece is the electric center fielder. Two strikeouts against Tennessee Wesleyan for the power-hitting sophomore Campbell. Payoff again. Inside, almost ended up, and it did clip him a little bit. 2 out, hit by pitch, puts a man on again here for the Pioneers. The DH is Marshali Brito out of the Dominican Republic, who has shown power in spades during this opening round. Slider just cannot find the zone. Ball 1 to Brito, the DH. Brito 0 for 4, reaching on a hit by pitch and an error against Tennessee Wesleyan in the win earlier today in the semis. Big swing and a miss for the big fella, strike one. Brito was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts against the Taylor pitchers yesterday, with Holcomb picking up the win, picking up from Swinehart in the first. 1-1, a filthy off-speed that freezes Brito for strike 2. 2 outs, top of the first, no score. 2 walks have gotten the runners on inside. 2-2 up near the chin of Brito, the DH. Brito has one of the 3 grand slams belted by the Pioneer offense here in Upland this week. Swinehart pickoff to first. We've seen 2 pickoffs work today in that Tennessee Wesleyan game against Point Park. 2-2. Right at the letter, strike 3, and Swinehart takes a look at Point Park as he just glides back to the dugout. No outs, no runs in the top of the first. Taylor come up to bat next in front of the home crowd.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Dalton Swinehart works out of a 1-out hit by pitch situation. We're to the bottom of the first. Here from a packed to the gills Winterholder Field and the Trojans of Taylor. The 2 seed looking for their first ever opening round title in program history come up to bat for the first time in front of this rowdy fan base. Cam Knepp leads it off. He squares off with Javier Cardoso, who pitched his heart out to get Point Park to this spot after going 3 1/3 against nuclear hot Tennessee Wesleyan. Righty deals a strike into Cam Knepp, 0-1. Cardoso gets the win, went 3 1/3, 2 hits, no runs. He struck out 6 out of the bullpen for the regular Game 2 starter. Sets a curveball and a swing and a miss from Knepp. He falls behind 0-2. So Cardoso now 10-2 on the year, came in with a 2.42 ERA for the first team All River State's pick. Knepp, one of the top men in drawing walks in the country. He's down 0-2 as Winterholder Field gets eerily quiet with the sun setting to our left. We'll set the defense behind Cardoso after the at-bat with Knepp has come to a conclusion. He's got Caleb Colpine and TJ Bass to follow, the normal top 3 in the order for TU. Fourth pitch to Knepp. Bouncer to the left side, and Martinez, the shortstop, snags the belt-high bouncer, fires across to Isaac Santana, and there's one gone. Justin Oakley's in left for Point Park. Jared Campbell in center. Carlos Burrows in right. Eddie Javier Jr. at third. Carlos Martinez, we just met him. He's at short. Second baseman is Omar Marito. And the first baseman is Isaac Santana with Jordan Campbell behind the plate. Here's Caleb Colpine, the former Crossroads League Newcomer of the Year. He grooves it to the right center field gap. This is going to find some grass. It's going to find the grass over the fence. A one-out solo blast for Caleb Colpine. 1-0 Trojans.
He sat back on that off-speed pitch, Rick. Man, what a beautiful swing to a deep part of the ballpark. And, yep, the Trojans are on the board. The crowd's on their feet. Whew. That ball got out of here in a hurry.
That wind is blowing in from right. Caleb Colpine didn't care. Lep's 6th home run of the season, and now a guy that knows the thing or two about going deep. The career leader in home runs, Timothy James Bass. He thought about going back-to-back on 2 pitches. It's a strike upstairs for the first-team All-American from a year ago. It's been a struggle for TJ, 0 for 6 here in the opening round. 0 for 13 in the postseason, going back to the Crossroads League tournament where Taylor went 2 and out.
Yeah, a guy like Bass, he's just one good barrel away from breaking loose and getting back in a good rhythm.
2 strikes against Cardoso, who's been lights out for Point Park in the postseason. Good eye from Bass as it bounces in short, 1-2. 1-0 Taylor lead on the Colpine home run. Had one of his few hitless games yesterday against this Point Park club and comes up with the 3rd homer of the opening round for TU. Cardoso, the righty, into the windup. The 1-2. Curveball. Bass smokes it to center field, and letting it fall in front of him is Jared Campbell. And for the first time in almost a month, Bass has got a base hit, and he points to the sky. You can see the weight just lifting off 11 in Purple's back.
And there's no better time to break a slump than in a championship game here at Winterholder Field with a packed crowd.
And now, Cade Vandermolen. He had 1 hit yesterday. It was a nuclear 2-run home run in the 5th that sparked the Trojan offense after they fell behind early. Fastball inside. You can hear the ooze of the folks sitting in the first couple rows. They are trying to find any excuse to yell their guts out tonight. Taylor football head coach Aaron Mingo has bought 25 pizzas for the students here in the seats. Foul ball back, 0-2 from Cade Vandermolen. 1 out, 1 on, 1 home on a Caleb Colpine 1-pitch home run. Championship game night from Upland, Indiana. Feels like the entire town is here. Cardoso deals the 0-2. A good eye away. It's 1-2. Cade, one of 3 fifth-year seniors on the Trojan roster, earned his first-team All-League pick earlier this season. He's also the 2-time back-to-back Gold Glove winner at first in the Crossroads League. Whipped left side. That one just dances foul. Well, my friend, we saw about 4 or 5 balls land on the chalk in our first game today. There's the first one that misses that white line in the outfield. And it was a triple that landed on the chalk that got Point Park the go-ahead run on a 2-out triple in the top of the 10th in our game earlier today. A ball and 2 to Vandermolen. Sat on a curveball that he loops foul. Out of reach to the lot.
And already we're seeing a little bit of action down there in the Point Park bullpen.
It's number 12, Joathan Rivera, who went 2 1/3 yesterday here against Taylor. 1-2 again. Vandermolen rips it into left field, and another single for the Trojans. They were cold yesterday against Point Park. They're starting to cook now here on championship night.
Yeah, Rick, all week we've talked so much about momentum and rhythm and getting hot at the right time in this postseason atmosphere and the way this tournament's structured. So for Taylor to get hot right now, this is big. But as we've also seen, you can't just get hot in the first inning. You got to stay consistently attacking all these pitchers.
The 2 losing
every
teams,
single inning.
The 2 losing teams yesterday. 4-0 lead for Point Park. 6-0 for Cumberland. They lost both of those games in different fashions, but still a loss nonetheless. Mason David was Taylor's best batter yesterday, going 3 for 5 with a double.
And also proven time again this week, Point Park likes to score late in the game.
They've had a great knack for it, yes. They even did it to put a little pressure on Taylor. Yesterday it was a 4-run lead, 5-run lead, and it got down to 2 in those late stages yesterday afternoon here. Curveball that David pops up to the right side. Burrows playing back on the right field line, and Burrows makes the snag. He's got a cannon for a left arm and shows it off for good measure. 2 gone for Taylor with still 2 on the bases. The batter is Ben Cowball. His cheering section is here, and they are loud. We thank all you folks for tuning in tonight. Special shout out to the Taylor softball team watching down in San Antonio. The Trojans got a win yesterday in the opening round. Their season sadly came to a close last night. First pitch to Cowball. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Ladies, we are so proud of you and what you've done, not just this week, but the entire season to get there. Your future is so bright, we're going to need shades to watch where you go in 2024 and beyond. The strike to Cowball, the fifth-year backstop. Missing the opposite corner, 1-1. Also special shout out to Emma West, who last night, at about the time we might have been in the 9th inning when insanity was happening, she broke the career stolen base record by potential future Hall of Famer Alex Lovelace. Emma, congratulations, girl. She's getting married in about a month to former baseball player Carter Stump. Third one to Cowball. Chops it down. It got a piece of the left leg of Jeremy Hosier, the home plate umpire. Nathan Barker's at first. Jason Tice is at second. Michael Ingram is at third. Solo blast for Caleb Colpine. Bass and Vandermolen followed with singles. They're at second and first, respectively. Cardoso trying to limit the damage to 1 with a fastball high that Ben watches sail in. 2-2. Cardoso and the man before him to start the game earlier today, Easton Klein, have been the guys on the mound, for Point Park this season. They have been rock stars to get Point Park on the precipice of another World Series appearance. Excellent eye from Cowball and a breaking ball away. It's 3-2 as the Trojans try to load it up for the freshman Braden Manning, who's on deck.
Yeah, great plate discipline there, laying off that outside slider. Runners will be moving. Solid contact will score a run.
Ben yesterday 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. The payoff from Cardoso. Cowball liner into left field, but right at Oakley. It's over his head. It's over his head. Bass and Vandermolen come running around. It's a 2 RBI double for Ben Cowball, and the lead is 3. This place has come unglued. Courtesy running for the catcher Cowballs, Luke Picchiotti at second.
Catcher out to talk to the pitcher here, buying time for the guy warming up in the bullpen.
How can you even hear yourself when you're that close with as rowdy as this place is getting?
The loudest I've heard the Taylor student section at an athletic event since the week before finals of the fall semester. It's Silent Night.
I don't know, it got pretty rowdy for your wife's team, the assistant coach of the year in the Crossroads League, Miss Gabby Reed, for the volleyball undefeated, undisputed champs of the Crossroads League. Their opening round game was an insane asylum inside Odell Arena. We've taken it outside tonight. No roof on this one, but you can still feel the energy coming from the purple and gray faithful. Manning, a bouncer up the middle, charging from short is Martinez. He scoops, he fires for out number 3. But 3 runs on the board. A solo home run for Caleb Colpine, and a 2-out, 2 RBI double for Ben Cowball. 3-0 Taylor after 1. This is the Upland Bracket Championship game on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
A much better start tonight for Taylor in the first inning. A double play to get the first 2 outs in the first, and now a 3-run opportunity in the bottom of the first. And Justin Oakley, who had the double of Cowball sail over his head, leads things off here for Point Park in the top of the second, down 3 against Dalton Swinehart. If you're Swinehart, Lincoln, my friend, how happy were you to see 3 runs come on the board after a rough start there in the first, but a good end? 1-2 now.
Well, I think any pitcher will tell you seeing runs on the board is always a great comfort. So now he can just continue to do what he was doing that first inning, go out and attack these Point Park hitters.
Oakley's got some juice in that bat. He skies out a play to the right. It remains 1-2. Someone upset that it missed a car. That must not have been theirs, that they were so jovial that it missed. The 1-2 again. Swing and a miss, and Swinehart's got his groove back. Eddie Javier Jr. is, I don't know where they keep finding these boxes of pizza, but they are just handing them out to anyone that wants a slice in the student section tonight. Slider away. Did he check his swing? He did. Says Nathan Barker, the first base umpire. Ball 1 to Javier Jr. And he scored the eventual winning run for Point Park in the win over Tennessee Wesleyan earlier today. Pitch 2 is ball 2. It was a 1-out walk, and then the triple to the right field line by Burrows scored him all the way from first base. 2 balls to him here. Liner up the middle, and the first hit of the night is in for Point Park. Into center field and Bass. 1 out, 1 knock here for the Pioneers as they trail by 3. We've had some pretty stellar shortstops here in this opening round, and Carlos Martinez is right at the top of that list, Lincoln.
Yep, absolutely. There's been great defenders up the middle for almost every team we've seen.
Hit the first of what would be 3 day 1 grand slams for Point Park on Monday. Ball 1. Ground ball left side. Nepp at third. Fires across to get the force out. Vandermolen reaches out and gets it for out number 2. Sorry to deal off a free Nelson's coupon. We can't have people come here and not get some Nelson's barbecue and chips. That'd just be, well, that'd be rude.
It would be. That would not be the sense of community we like to foster here.
It would not be life to the full.
Right.
People living their life to the full here. College students, they want any excuse not to study for finals, a championship baseball game, and free pizza. Sign them up. Ball to the lefty right fielder, Carlos Burrows. Point Park was so good with 2 outs. They were 4 for 14. I know that's a 286 average. I get it. But Tennessee Wesleyan 1 for 10 with 2 outs in that elimination game earlier today. Ground ball right side. It just jets foul to the right of the first base. Lincoln, people keep showing up, and I don't know where we keep putting them. Have we extended the stands? This is nuts.
Well, knowing Taylor students are very industrious, I'm sure they will find a way.
They are lined up almost all the way to each of the beginning of the bullpens on both sides. That is a couple hundred feet from home plate to that area. And every seat taken up here in the lower bowl. 1-1 is low, 2-1. I've been here for 10 years, so I've been here before these new seats. I was here, obviously, with the new seats. This is easily the biggest crowd we've ever had in my 10 years here. 2 outs, 2-1, with a runner at second. Swinehart trying to challenge inside. It's 3-1 to the man that won the game, Mr. Burrows, with that triple. It was the first and so far only triple of our opening round. The third of the season for Burrows. Swings through this one, and now it's a full count, 3-2, as Swinehart turns up the velocity. Swinehart trying to get out of the inning unscathed and keep Taylor ahead 3-0. Looks back to the runner at second. The payoff pitch. Popped into the air, foul. Will dance again. Burrows was great on Monday. Going 5 for 8, was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts against Taylor yesterday. Payoff, and he strikes out here, and Swinehart is jacked up. Another strikeout to end an inning. He's got 3 today, and the Trojans lead 3-0 after an inning and a half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
.70 pitches is how many Javier Cardoso has already thrown today. 46 in the comeback win against Tennessee Wesleyan. 24 here right now. Sam Glad steps in. He's 1 for 4 yesterday. Warming up in the pen is John Hawley. We have not seen him yet in the opening round for Point Park. 2-0 here to the freshman D.H. Glad out of Columbia City, Indiana. Tied the first game for the Trojans against Cumberland, which is a pedestrian 3-2 game. We've had offense in bunches since. A mighty hack from Sam, fouled back 2-1. That game was 3-2. That seems, first of all, it seems like weeks ago. Second of all, every other game outside of the Point Park Tennessee Wesleyan game, which is 8-4, ripped, lunging, almost popped out of the glove, but it stays in the mid of Isaac Santana, 1 gone. Everything else except those 2 games and the one earlier today. So out of our 3 games, everything else has had at least one team get double-figure runs. All but 2, or excuse me, all but 1 have had a combined 10-plus runs.
It has been quite the offensive week, Rick.
See, I should have just said that. That's why you're here. I'm out here explaining like the Pythagorean theorem, and Lincoln's just going, yes, we've had a lot of offense. I knew there was a reason we wanted you up here. Thank you. Strike 1 on a bunt try from Ben Kennedy. Ben, surprisingly, not an all-league selection in the Crossroads League, but is easily a rising star in the CL. Off speed from Cardoso, called for a strike at the knees. He takes over for the superstar Nick Ruschi, who is easily the best shortstop, no questions asked, in the league a year ago. In a league full of them. 2 strikes to Kennedy out of the 9-hole with 1 out. Missing the outside corner. Might have been a little bit high from Cardoso. That's ball 1. That is a tough one for Point Park to take, as now double bear action starting in the Point Park pen. 3-0 Taylor lead, bottom of the second. Curveball, pokes it left side to his counterpart Martinez. Going to be a tight play, throws off of 1 foot, and Carlos Martinez is spectacular. 2 gone. Back to the top of the order we go after Taylor brought 7 men to the dish in the first. It's Cam Knepp, who's 0 for 1. Fastball right back off of Cardoso. He kicked it right to Martinez. It's short. He fires the first, and a 1-6-3 put out as Martinez retires the last two men for the Trojans in the second. Taylor goes down in order. It's 3-0 home team after two. This is the NAIA opening round championship Upland bracket contest on the Trojan Sports Network.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
We got to work on the TV situation for our softball team in San Antonio. That is a very small television to be taking in this high-definition broadcast from Upland, Indiana tonight. That sounds like a softball problem, not an us problem. So sorry, girls. Swinging a miss to Jordan Campbell. Swinehart gets a second one, and this is the Dalton Swinehart Lincoln we've seen throughout most of the season.
Yeah, as we were talking before the game, Rick, not the start he wanted the other game, but you could just chalk it up to a long bullpen.
Little poker off the end of the bat. Could find the outfield, and it does. Oh, but slipping and blowing a tire is Campbell, and he's going to limp up to first, and that is a tough and terrible thing to see for the catcher. He had just turned his offensive showing around with a solo home run against Tennessee Wesleyan and is down and hurt at first base. We'll take a break as the sports medicine staff comes out to take a look at Campbell.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Your heart just breaks for Jordan Campbell. Has to be helped off the field, suffering a lower leg injury, running up to first. He had just a wonderful piece of hitting. They're down 0-2. Just able to flare it into right field, but a lower body injury is at least put his game tonight on pause as Luis Gonzalez comes in to run for him. Gonzalez is a utility man. Most likely we think J.M. Fay will come in and play defensively at catcher when we get to the bottom of the third. But a leadoff single as Point Park looks for their first run tonight in this championship game. They trail 3-0 to 2-seed Taylor. Swinehart out of the stretch, right side. Taylor might be able to turn to David. To Kennedy for one at second. Back to first. A second double play spun. This time 4-6-3.
Taylor's playing with a lot of fire right now, Rick. This is really a lot of fun to see. This crowd's into it. That's a textbook double play there, and Swinehart is grooving.
Again, a leadoff walk after not getting out of the first inning yesterday. Outside of giving up a leadoff home run was probably the last thing that Dalton wanted to do. But a double play helped him out here, and he's got another double play here in the third.
That's what you got to do. You just got to focus on each batter, attack each batter, and just trust those guys behind you to come up big, and that's what they've been doing all game.
Big man Santana, who is a real agile big fella playing first base, is up here after Murillo just hit into the double play. Santana hitting the double play back in the first. A low strike at the knees evens it up at 1-1. Santana a single, and he was the first man to drive in a run for Point Park against Tennessee Wesleyan. A little flare off the end of the bat, and for the second time this inning, a Point Park batter goes opposite way. This time it's Santana into left. He goes about a fourth of the way around the bag. He comes back, and he was at 1-1, and he just threw his hands out there and pokes it into left field. Well done. And now Swinehart's got to deal with the man on base and the Player of the Year in the River States Conference, Sunrise, Florida's Jared Campbell. A .391 average for Jared Campbell. A strike here, and your heart breaks for Jordan Campbell, but you also feel bad for his twin brother Jared here. Just saw your twin brother get hurt, and now you have to step up to the plate here against Swinehart. Chases upstairs, offering, 0-2 on the swing and a miss. 3-0 hole for Point Park. They're not going to blink at any of that. They've come back from multiple deficits outside of that opening whopping they gave to Fisher. Upstairs and high, 1-2. That game was tight, and then Point Park's offense blew up like a TNT. 1-2. Swinehart wanted the corner at the knees, and he was a hair low, trying to end the first 3 innings, all with strikeouts.
Well, if you're going to miss on a pitch there, Rick, that's a great location. It's tempting to the batter. It's just low enough to, if he does make contact, it won't be solid.
2-2. Campbell got a piece and fouled it back on one of the upper part of the zone. That's now 50 pitches thrown by Swinehart. Remember, threw just 42 yesterday. Not able to get out of the first. Takes a look over at Santana, the man at first base. Here comes pitch number 6. Off the end of the bat, fouled again. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes for Dalton Swinehart. Top of the third of this championship game. Taylor wins, they're on to the World Series. Point Park wins, we're back tomorrow at high noon. Popped up in the air right side. Colpine is there in right field. He waits for it. He waits. He makes the catch, and another man left stranded. Scoreless are the Point Park Pioneers after 3. It's 3-0 Taylor off to the bottom of the third next.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
New pitcher on the hill here for Point Park after Javier Cardoso threw 46 pitches in the game earlier today against Tennessee Wesleyan. He throws 33 here tonight. He turns it over to the fresh arm of John Holly, 6'6" righty out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. He's got to go against Caleb Colpine, who left the yard on the first pitch he saw back in the first. His first pitch here is a ball. 2, 3, and 4 up for Taylor. Bottom of the third, they lead 3-0. A win tonight gets them the championship of the opening round on their home field in front of a capacity crowd, and they're going to Idaho. I think there's a lot on the line tonight for both these teams. You bet. Second one almost ended up on the hip of Caleb Colpine. His classmates and fellow Taylor folks take exception to that. J.M. Fay, the new catcher. A strike on the outside part of the plate again after the unfortunate lower body injury to Jordan Campbell. There's always pleasant heckling for the umpires from the Taylor students. Ball 4, that'll give them something to cheer about. Leadoff walk for Caleb Colpine, who had struggled in the first 2 games offensively with power numbers, but he's on the bases here for the first 2 times tonight.
Yeah, for both teams tonight, especially with Taylor having the lead here, it's all about winning each inning. So if they can come out and progressively add runs to that scoreboard, it's going to provide a lot of insurance for this Point Park offense, who we know loves to score late in the game.
11th appearance on the season for Holly. Bass steps in, a big looping 12-6 curveball that started above his head and then veered in for a called strike. Bass a single for his first hit in almost a month. 0 for 7 during the Crossroads League tournament, 0 for in the first 2 games here. 0-1, fastball off the outside part of the plate. The righty Bass has got it to 1-1. Holly a 5.40 ERA in 18 in the third innings. Coming in again, he has not played or pitched at all in this opening round. It's his 8th appearance in relief. 14 strikeouts to 12 walks for the junior righty. Third one to Bass. He ducks out of the way, and can you tell that the Trojan Horse student section didn't like it? 3-0 home team. All 3 runs coming in the first. We play in the bottom of the third. Both teams tonight looking for their 40th win. 2-1 away. 3-1. Ironically enough, the Colpine walk, Lincoln, the first time a leadoff man has gotten on for Taylor tonight here against Point Park. Bass 1 for 1 with that center field single. 3-1 inside, called for strike 2. Bass pretty much knew it. Probably watched it zip in under those gigantic biceps. 5th-year senior out of Greenwood, Indiana. His whole family sitting a couple rows down to our right. Last year's player of the year in the Crossroads League. Colpine goes on a payoff. Strike 3 of the plate. Good throw. It bounces away from Colpine into shallow left field. Bass caught looking. He's retired for the first out of the inning, but Colpine in scoring position on a stolen base.
That's good base running there by Colpine. Now you got a runner in scoring position, only 1 out. Very talented batter at the plate. All it's going to take is a solid barrel to the outfield, and we're looking at a Taylor lead extension.
If you want barrels, Vandermolen's your guy. Monstrous 2-run home run yesterday, and now Hawley finding some rhythm with the curveball. He was all over the place against Colpine to start, but a first pitch strike on a curve to Bass. Same thing here to Vandermolen. The stolen base for Caleb, by the way, his 11th of the season. The stellar superstar sophomore out of Fort Wayne. The 5th-year man out of Iowa is Vandermolen. Curveball this time, it's low, 1-1. Cade single to left. His first time up tonight. Cade was 0 for 3 with a bases-loaded walk against Cumberland Monday. 1 for 4 with that 2-run nuke last night here against Point Park. Hit him on the knob of the bat as he tried to get out of the way. It's a foul ball, 1-2. .303 average for the fifth-year senior. 56 hits, 12 doubles, and 13 homers. Second on the team behind Bass's 18. But the top RBI man is Vandermolen with 58 when the night started. Trying to add to the total here with the speedy Colpine at second base. 1-2 Holly. Backdoor pitch. Foul as it's launched up the left field side. Another man warming up in the Point Park pen. They need a win here and a win tomorrow afternoon to go back to the World Series. Still 1-2. It'll be pitch number 5 from Holly to Vandermolen. Almost landed on his back. It's 2-2 as he ducked out of the way. We've seen 2 curveballs that have been picture perfect into the zone and 2 that have almost landed on the backs of Bass and Vandermolen.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble getting that extension out there on that curveball. So if you're a Taylor batter here, he's not going to blow that fastball by you. So you just need to make that adjustment, put a good swing on it.
Gets away on ball 3. Colpine moves up 90 feet on the wild pitch. Full count. Vandermolen, I want to correct this. I misspoke yesterday. He had not just 1 home run. He had all of the runs in Taylor's 6-2 win back in February over Point Park. A 2-run homer, then a walk-off grand slam in Georgia in the bottom of the 10th almost 3 months ago. That one gets away, darts behind Vandermolen. He ducks for cover. He jogs to first, and it's first and third with 1 gone. 2 walks and a strikeout here in the inning. Mason David steps in for the second time. A breakout sophomore season for the second baseman out of Bloomington. Pickoff attempt to first. Low, it bounces away. Colpine was going to score with ease. 4-0 Trojans as Taylor again capitalizes on a Point Park miscue.
That's what you got to do, Rick. Every mistake your opponent gives you, you have to capitalize. Smart base running there, and I don't know what happened. The pitcher did not throw that ball with any sense of conviction. Don't know if he just lost his grip or if there was maybe a miscommunication. We've seen with this time clock rule, some of these pickoff moves are more of a formality to break up rhythm.
No pitches yet to David. He flew out to right field for out number 2 in the first. He's up here in the third with 1 gone and 1 home. Now the curveball this time from Holly. He misses with a heater away, 1-0. David 4th on the team in average at .332. Belt high fastball taken for a strike, 1-1. Second team all Crossroads League is Mason David. Second on the team with 66 hits. Inside off speed, 2-1. He came into the night. I laugh because what I'm about to tell you is so astronomical. He comes in 24 hits behind the leader in Caleb Colpine, who just got 91 on the homer in the first. Fourth one almost landed on his elbow. It's 3-1. Caleb 4 hits away, by the way, from setting the record for a single season of hits held by your former teammate, Mr. Nathan Taggart. Knew a thing or two about getting a hit, getting doubles. David takes for ball 4 on the Trojans, starting to get a rhythm here in the bottom of the third. 2 on, 1 out for Ben Cowball.
Yeah, this is a situation. Cowball is going to the plate. He has seen by now this pitcher cannot locate his curveball. At least it's very inconsistent. He's having trouble getting that extension. It's not breaking. So if I'm in his shoes, I'm sitting fastball. I'm looking for fastball, knowing I can adjust to that curveball.
And Holly's time on the hill comes to a close. His first appearance in the opening round is a short one. We'll introduce you to the new arm for Point Park next. Bottom of the third, Taylor leading 4-0. A win puts him in the World Series.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
New pitcher is Joathan Rivera. He went 2 1/3 innings yesterday against Taylor. It'll be his third appearance here of the opening round. He comes in with 1 out and 2 on in the bottom of the third. Taylor already leading 4-0. Cowball jumps in the first one. Could be 2. Javier Jr. at 30. Oh, it's thrown away! It's thrown away into right field. What could have been an inning-ending double play. The miscue makes it 5-0 Taylor. Taylor head coach Kyle Gould had his hands on his head in shock at third base, and then they left his head in joy and jubilation. 5-0 Taylor.
Usually when you have a team that's struggling a little bit defensively and they bring in a new guy to try to patch up an inning, usually you want to see a pitch, maybe even see a few pitches, give your guys on deck and in the hole a chance to kind of get the rhythm. But, man, he was swinging away that first one, and man, what a lucky break.
5-0 the Taylor lead. They could not get out of their own way yesterday against this Point Park club as Picciani comes in to run at third. And Manning shows a bunt for one of the maybe handful of times here this season as a delicious bag of popcorn is being handed around in the couple rows in front of us. Pizza, popcorn, what a night. Oh for 1 is Manning. No bunt shown here. It's a fastball up and away, 2-0. Rivera, the junior, out of Puerto Rico. Won an inning and faced 3 batters against Fisher College all the way back on Monday. Foul ball back as that rings some plastic. 2 balls and a strike for Manning. Rivera, his 17th appearance overall, his 8th out of the pen. A 4.95 ERA and a 4-3 overall record as he takes over for John Holly, who went just a third of an inning. 3 walks. And the first 2 inning runs scored in this inning have been charged to him, with David at third, the last man, his responsibility. And there's a throw to first from Rivera, and that's how the first run of this inning scored on a failed pickoff attempt to first. 2-1 to Manning, who grounded out to the stellar Carlos Martinez at short. Back to end the first. Swings through one here. Good pitch from Joathan Rivera, 2-2. Out of the stretch, runner goes from first. Picchiotti, backdoor pitch. Oh, man. Full count, 3-2, and Rivera showing great restraint there on one that looked to be a surefire strike three. Picchiotti in second base with a swipe. So Taylor aggressive here with the backup catcher J.M. Fay. And after the starter, Campbell suffered an injury after a single his first time up. Payoff. Ball four, and they're loaded up for Sam Glad, the freshman DH. Glad has had some big at-bats in his first season of college baseball. A game-tying home run against Marion. And another game-tying hit in the same game against the Knights during the regular season. 6'1", 205 lefty. And Rivera starts him with a fastball away. Bases full of Trojans. David at third, Picchiotti at second, Manning at first. A 5-0 Taylor lead in the title game in the bottom of the third. 2-0 to Glad. Seventh man to the plate here tonight for the Trojans, clad in their new purple uniforms with the purple numbers and the purple letters and the white trim. And the wedding cake white pants for the home team. Rivera misses, and that one tantalizingly close as well. You got a feel for Rivera. That is now two pitches that a majority of this opening round have been strikes.
Yeah, he's been just missing on so many of these, and I anticipate a take. Yep, there it is. Now he's got 3-1. Should be sitting on a good pitch right here. No reason to chase.
Wind is blowing in and to the right, down from the right field area. Bases full, one out, bottom of the third. Glad in the air high. In foul territory. 2 Point Park men there reaching up and catching it. Santana, the first baseman, in foul ground. Jogs back in, having a couple words for David as he goes back to third, two gone. Still full for Ben Kennedy. We've mentioned it multiple times, Lincoln, over the last now 3 days that we've been here, as the president of Taylor University, Dr. Michael Lindsay, looking very snazzy in a pair of black sunglasses with one of his three daughters. We might need to move some people so the president can find a seat. Can't have the man standing. Come on, folks. Kennedy, strike at the knees, and that one looked to be low. It's strike one, though. My point before the president showed up. We talked about it so many times. People are going to roll their eyes when I say this, but you have to score early and often. We've seen how these late games can just get away from the team that's leading. So if you get only 2 runs here with the bases full, you'd hate that if you're Taylor. Swing and a miss, Kennedy on the fastball, 0-2.
Yeah, especially in that Campbellsville game, you saw a lot of ducks left on the pond, so to speak. And this is a team when you're playing Point Park where you cannot leave runners on base. You have to maximize every opportunity because you know their offense, it will come alive at some point.
Usually late, usually the pressure situation. Fastball that Rivera heats away, 1-2 from the righty Kennedy. Yeah, multiple bases loaded left for Taylor in their opening game. They had a couple yesterday against his Point Park club, too, when they were trying to battle back from that early deficit. David, the lead man at third. For his middle infield mate, Ben Kennedy, the freshman. 1-2. Kennedy to the left side, and he's going to score one. Here comes Picchiotti. He's going to get two. A 2 RBI single for Ben Kennedy, and the lead is 7-zip.
That's a huge piece of clutch hitting right there, Rick. Perfect placement, hard ground ball in the gap. Impossible to defend that. Couldn't have placed it any better. Runner's got a fantastic jump. Now you still got 2 guys on the bases. And it's time to keep this train rolling. It's like we've been talking about all week. 7 runs is not enough.
Just ask Cumberland, who's at home right now. Knepp's the 9th batter of the inning, and if he connects with that, the place is going to shake to its core. Instead, it's a swing and a miss, and everyone can gather their breath and their composure, mainly me. 7-0 Taylor, bottom of the third, 2 gone and 2 on. Knepp takes it low, 1-1. An 0 for 2 night for Cam. The unconventional ground out, the old 1-6-3, as Cardoso had it ricochet off of his mitt and went right to the shortstop Martinez to bring the second inning to a close. Knepp sits on a breaking ball, up and away, 2-1. And the last guy that Point Park probably wants to see is a guy that's on pace to break the all-time hits record at Taylor, Caleb Colpin, who is back to Caleb Colpin form here tonight. Just an out to get out of the inning, though. That's not going to help. Big lead off of second, and Wisely Manning lumbers back to the bag. 3-1, though. And if you're Fay, you have had to pick up the weight defensively with the injury to Jordan Campbell, who's been very just exceptional behind the plate here in the opening round.
Yeah, Campbell's had a fantastic tournament defensively, and really hope he's doing okay. It did not look like it felt good, whatever happened to him down there on first baseline.
Yeah, real tough break. Ball 4 here to Knepp. You can hear the ball 4 chants from the Trojan Horse student section, but he came up the line hard out of the box, and then about halfway between home plate and first, he came up limp, was able to still get to the bag to get the single, but you could tell it was a serious-looking lower body injury. We hope the best for Jordan Campbell. Bases full for Colpin, trying to go opposite way to the gap in left center field. Jordan Campbell's not going to get to it. This might clear the bases, and Caleb Colpin has busted this bad boy wide open. 10-0 Trojans, and the train keeps rolling along in Upland, Indiana.
He got some great extension there on a slicing line drive that just cut the gap perfectly. There's no way those outfielders, who, as we've seen the whole tournament, can cover a lot of ground, no way they get to that ball. And the runners, obviously, great jumps all around. This is what you want to see from Taylor baseball at this moment.
2-out magic cooking for the Trojans. They're 3 for 5 with 2 outs here today, and not looking to stop, leading 10-0 in the bottom of the third. And now a warning is being issued to the Point Park dugout by home plate umpire Jeremy Hosier. Pioneer head coach Loren Torres comes out to talk, and he's having a heated conversation with Hosier, the home plate umpire. Something was said from the dugout, and now Torres has been tossed. And now Torres chasing home plate umpire Jeremy Hosier, and the associate umpires come in to protect the lead man behind the plate. The 14th-year Point Park head coach has been tossed. Something was said from the first base dugout. Hosier issued a warning, and now Torres is really hot talking with 2 of the other umpires. A 7-run bottom of the third for Taylor, and now things have gone from bad to worse here for Point Park.
Sometimes from a coaching standpoint, if things aren't going your way, you got to do something to get your team fired up. So we may never know what was or was not said, but in many ways this could be Point Park's coach trying to get his team with a little bit of pep in their step here, down 10 runs.
Whatever was said came from the middle or the end of the dugout. The head coach, Torres, came out of the beginning of it, and then the thing just escalated until he was finally tossed. Associate head coach in his 15th season, Rocky Capobianco, comes out to talk things over with the infield. As there is a right-hander warming up, this thing is wild here in the bottom of the third. It has been all Trojans, and after Point Park was so calm, cool, and collected against Tennessee Wesleyan, they have just not been able to find their balance here tonight against Taylor. All right, world. You find me another college president that's going to lead a cheer for a student section. It's okay, I'll wait. Dr. Michael Lindsay just turned the thing on its ear from the right side of the bleachers. Well, there was free admission for the Taylor students, and they took it and ran with it. Here's Bass. An off-speed curveball. Rivera needed it to start it with a strike. The football out away for President Michael Lindsay. This place is awesome. Third one to TJ Bass. A nice looping curveball from Rivera. Nicks the outside corner. It's 1-2 to the home run leader in careers, TJ Bass. Came into the postseason 6 hits away from the career hits mark. He's now got it down to 5 with a first inning single. 1-2. Inside, he fights off a curveball and bounces it up towards the long line of folks up the left side of the field. There's also a long line of folks up the right side of the field. Plenty of Taylor baseball alums have made their way back to their home field here to watch their program try to win the first opening round title in program history and go back to the World Series in multiple decades. Bass gets on one low, able to protect on a low curveball, and a good adjustment there from TJ. Two out, 2 RBI single from Kennedy. Bases clearing double Colpine. Taylor's in a 10-0 lead. Fastball up high, 2-2. Taylor defeated Cumberland 3-2 in their first game of the opening round on Monday afternoon. They defeated this Point Park club 12-10 yesterday to get to this spot, and they are off and running, leading 10-0. Bass fouls it away, and up into the parking lot it goes. 3 foul balls with 2 strikes here for Bass, who has done a good job to battle here with a lot of breaking stuff being fed to him by Joathan Rivera, the hard-throwing righty. Six hits for the Trojans. They lead 10-0. Bass looking for his second hit of the night. Fails and swings at one low. Excellent curveball from Rivera. Brings the bottom of the third to a close, but a lot of fireworks as they leads 10-0 after 3 in the championship game of the Upland Bracket on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Dalton Swinehart with 10 runs of cushion to work. It's 10-0 Taylor as we start the top half of the 4th inning. Rick Johnston, Lincoln Reed here with you. As Brito fouls off the second one to make it 1-1. 4, 5, and 6 coming up here for the Pioneers, who now have to play the rest of the game without their head coach, Lauren Torres, who got tossed after the final runs of the inning came around to score with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Third one fouled away by Brito, struck out looking, who's had an up-and-down opening round. The big grand slam against Tennessee Wesleyan on Monday night has been in the slump ever since, it seems. Fouls off his third one, still 1-2. Swinehart, through the first 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs, 3 punch-outs, and a walk and a hit by pitch. Still ahead 1-2, shakes off the sign from Cowball, and here comes another 1-2. Brito fouls her right back to the same spot. Strike 3, 4th one of the night for Swinehart, 1 gone. You can see why the Trojans were so excited to get the transfer Swinehart after spending his freshman season just up the road in Fort Wayne for the Indiana Tech Warriors out of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Oakley, fly ball in the right field. Caleb Colpine finds it now after not finding it off the bat. Caleb's underneath, and there are quickly 2 retired for Point Park in the top of the 4th, down 10. Third baseman Eddie Javier Jr. trying to get some 2-out fun started for the Pioneers of Point Park. Strike on the outside from Swinehart, and Javier Jr. didn't like it. If you're Point Park, though, you got to be careful with Hosier already tossing, the home plate umpire already tossing her head coach. Might be a short leash if you would argue a ball or strike maybe a little more vehemently than normal. Swinehart locked and loaded. Ripped up the left field line. This one does not find the chalk. Unlike the game a few hours ago where every ball that felt like linking up the left or right field lines landed right on the white. Here tonight, the batters not so lucky. A quick 1-2. Inside, 2-seamer, misses 2-2. Javier Jr. has one of the only 3 hits tonight. A 1-out single back in the 2nd. Trying to extend the top of the 4th. Gets another one here on a off-speed high, 3-2. Students continue to file in along with other folks too. Little slapping swing, gets a piece, that's 3-2. Still. They must be tagging in and out to get these seats here. It's got to be the only way. Payoff from Swinehart. Line drive into center field. Bass has got a good read on it. He sprints. He makes the catch knee high. A 1-2-3-4, and the Trojans roll on, leading 10-0 in the title game from Upland.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
An all-out party here in Upland, Indiana tonight for the 2-seed Taylor baseball team as they lead 10-0 here in the bottom of the 4th, a win away from the World Series. Ball 1 to Cade Vandermolen. as Joathan Rivera gets his first full inning of work underway. A 1-for-1 night for Vandy with a single and a walk. Good belt high breaker for a strike on the outer half. A ball and a strike. Here's the Trojans lead 10-0 on the back of just 6 hits, but they've capitalized on miscues, on throwing errors, and they've scored almost every time when that's happened. And then also some well-barreled up balls as well. Gets away. It's 2-1 here to Vandermolen. Vandermolen, David, and Ben Calbaugh. A packed house tonight at Winterholder Field, hoping for a coronation for their home team. Trojans looking for their first World Series appearance since 1969. And that hits Vandermolen right in the back of that purple 5. Leadoff man is on for Taylor. Do you think there's any pizza left to give to President Lindsay? He looks kind of hungry. Do we need to give him some Nelsons? He would love some chips, I bet. He looks like a chip guy. Oh, he's making his way right in the middle of the students. This is awesome. We have the best president in the country, period, end. David shows bunt, big throw down to first, from Fay. A strike here to David. Mason 0-for-1. He walked and scored in the third frame. On the 2 RBI single from Ben Kennedy. Pick off to first. That's how Taylor scored one of their runs tonight on a missed throw by John Holly, the reliever. David, the man at the plate, 3 for 5 with a double. He was one of Taylor's best batters against Point Park yesterday. Off the end of the glove of Fay as that breaker was behind David the whole way. And Vandermolen jogs to second on the wild pitch. The righty David against the right-handed throwing Joathan Rivera out of Puerto Rico. Almost hit him. Avoids 15 in purple. It's 2-1. Rivera, one of 8 Puerto Rico natives on the Point Park roster. The champs out of the River States Conference. David backs out of the way, and it looks like he wanted to turn inside and get hit and go to first. Instead, he's got the count 3-1. Leadoff hit by pitch, and a wild pitch has moved Vandermolen up to second. 3-1, turning on is David, and he pulled it foul in between head coach Kyle Gould and the third base bag. Taylor scored 3 in the first, none in the second, and then erupted for 7 last inning in the third. After a rough 2/3 of an inning yesterday, Dalton Swinehart has been almost automatic here tonight against the same team that knocked him out yesterday. Full count to the second baseman, David. Rivera kicks out of the stretch, and David checks. They go to first, and saying he went around was Nathan Barker. And so David out on strikes to the dismay of the Taylor fans. Taylor scored those 7 runs on just 2 hits last inning as well to boot. Calbaugh at the plate. Ball inside near the top of the shoes. A lot of Ben Calbaugh fans here. What was it about you catchers at Taylor having big fan bases? The people love Tanner Watson. They loved you. They love Ben Calbaugh. They love TJ Bass. A foul here for Calbaugh off the leg, 1-1. Vandermolen still by his lonesome at second base. Taylor trying to add to their 10-0 lead. Curveballs away, 2-1. Ben's been great tonight. He brought this place to its feet with a 2-out, 2 RBI double in the first. He got on a fielder's choice, and then Picchiotti scored in the third in his place as the courtesy running catcher. 2-1 from Rivera. Cowball swings and misses. Good pitch. It's 2-2. Cowball way in front of the curveball, dropped, and Fay tags him out. 2 gone. Good, not little, 2 really strong pitches there from Rivera back to back.
Yeah, Rivera's seems to be trying to find his groove here.
It's that third appearance for Joathan Rivera. Went just an inning, faced 3 batters against Fisher College in the 20-3 shellacking Monday. And was 2 1/3 yesterday. 2 hits, only 1 run. He struck out 2 on 49 pitches against Taylor yesterday, coming in, starting in the 6th inning. Manning jumps on the first one, lifts it up the right field line. Burrows was playing back. It's in the right side foul territory. Hopping like he's jumping over a puddle was Isaac Santana. And there's out number 3. We head to the top of the 5th. Taylor up 10-0 on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Starting off with a strike to Carlos Martinez is Dalton Swinehart. Second pitch is low. It's 1-1. Martinez is 0 for 1 tonight. Point Park batting here in the top of the 5th, down by 10. Looper into left side. Manning was playing back, but he comes in and makes the catch for out number 1. Off the bat, Lincoln, it looked like that one might die in for a little dying Quayle single.
Yeah, I had a little bit of topspin on that one. It was just hit right at the outfielder. And some days that's just, you hit a ball hard, but you hit it right at somebody.
That was Taylor's issue in the Crossroads League tournament. You heard it last night from Kyle Gould. He said, we didn't play terrible. We just hit the ball right at every defensive player, it seemed like. First pitch to Carlos Burrows is fouled away. And also, what can you say about Swinehart tonight? A very short memory for the sophomore righty who's looked great here tonight. Second pitch fouled away, 0-2 from Burrows. There is some activity starting in the Taylor bullpen. Jared Crandall and Jack Ross are down there starting to get loose. 0-2. Ryan it to the side. Vandermoor just over his new mitt and up the right field line. Should be extra bases for Burrows. Coming up as Colpine throws from the foul line. David cuts it off. And finally, an extra base hit on the board for this potent Point Park offense. A one-out double for Burrows.
Once more, Rick, we've seen it all week. These Point Park base runners are tenacious and aggressive. So expect that to happen throughout the rest of tonight.
It was Burrows who had the go-ahead triple to get Point Park to this game, and he comes up with a clutch one-out double here. 10-0 hole for Point Park, and here's J.M. Fay. Curveball off the outside part of the plate, 1-0. Fay did not play against Taylor yesterday. Was 1 for 1 against Fisher College on Monday morning. 2-0 from Swinehart. Fay a .333 average, though, in his limited action. And Taylor pitching coach Justin Barber comes out for his first mound visit here with Swinehart. We mentioned Ross warming up. We also saw Jared Crandall down there. I had a chance to talk with Jared's father yesterday after the Taylor victory, and he goes, we want to hear a funny story about the Vandermolen mitt. Remember yesterday, a screaming shot that got locked into the web of the now old first base mitt for Cade Vandermolen. Well, that was Jared Crandall's old first base mitt. He was a corner infielder when he was in high school, thought he was going to go to college and play the corners defensively. He was recruited heavily as a pitcher. He's obviously a pitcher here, and at his dad's urging, he said they were cleaning things out. He said, here, take your old gloves, take your batting gloves in case you guys need them. And Jared just says, I'm not going to need my first base mitt. And so finally, as you know, your father's always right. It came to the fall, and they go, all right, Vandy, go to first. He goes, I don't have a first baseman's mitt. No one else had an extra first baseman's mitt. Jared goes, I've got one. That was the one, but it was an old and kind of beat up mitt that had some years on it. And so that kind of led to it getting stuck in the webbing yesterday and resulting, I think it was an Isaac Santana single, by the way. 2-0, and now 3-0 as Swinehart a little bit off target here in the fifth after being so good through the first 4 innings. 1 out, but a double from Burrows has him in scoring position with Point Park looking to strike for the first time tonight. Inside to Fay, and it's a 4-pitch walk, just the second free pass allowed by Swinehart tonight in the first since the leadoff man, Murillo, to start the game all the way back in inning number 1. As Luis Gonzalez enters to run at first, the courtesy runner. And now we go to the top of the order with the aforementioned Omar Murillo. 10-0 the deficit for Point Park here in the top of the fifth, but their offense can strike at a moment's notice, particularly when we get past the fifth. Swinehart off speed away. That is now 5 out of the zone dealt from Dalton. It was an 0-2 double up the right field line by Burrows that just snuck over the diving mid of Vandermolen, the first baseman. A much-needed strike at the belt to make it 1-1. The Point Park dugouts trying to stay upbeat. They've been that way since we saw them here Monday morning. Bouncer up the middle. Kennedy waits on it. He'll take the easy play to first for the force out and out number 2. Wise beyond his years is Ben Kennedy.
He's had quite a freshman year, Rick. He is playing with the tenacity of a guy who is a great competitor, but he's also playing, like you said, with the wisdom of a guy who's several years older than he actually is.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, it could have been pretty easy to try to underhand at the second. You want to turn 2, get out of the inning. You've already turned 2 double plays tonight, but he just goes, look, let's just take the easy out, get out number 2, and try to get out here with the batter Isaac Santana.
Yeah, so much a shortstop is making those gut instinct decisions and commanding the middle infield there. And that was definitely a judgment call by him, and wisely decided, hey, we need the out. We're up by 10 runs. There's no need to force anything. We just need to get outs.
Swing and a miss from Santana, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Time is called by the catcher, Calbaugh. He looks into the dugout.
He's probably buying time here for whoever's in the bullpen.
That would be Jack Ross, the top reliever in the Crossroads League this season. This new pitch sequence system. You guys had the number system. Now it's I forget which one of the teams, if they had an AirPod in their ear, but Ben and TJ Bass, when they catch, they've got what's called an IFB. If you ever watch the local news or the national news, the people sit at the desk and, hello, it's nightly news. That's the IFB, the thing sticking out of their ear. Would you have liked that? How do you think that would have been? Because you can just get the numbers right put into your ear.
Yeah, it probably would have been nice. I mean, doing it the old way, yeah, it's you always misinterpreted what your teammate was saying from the dugout, calling out. We used a number sequence back in my day. But no, using interruptible feedback and IFB would be, I I think it would probably make things more efficient.
The film and media professor knows IFB. We're just trying to educate and entertain here tonight. Second pitch was a ball. The third one is popped up foul. Drifting to our left. Folks go ducking for cover. And there's not a lot of places to go because it is just packed up and down and every which way you look here at Winterholder Field tonight. A full-on overflowing crowd here in the Metropolis tonight, watching their Trojans leading Point Park 10-0. Dalton Swinehart in the middle of a nice outing trying to make this a decision situation for the starter after getting knocked down in the first inning yesterday by this Pioneer team. 1-2. Left it up high, but Isaac Santana thought about it. 2-2. 4 hits tonight. There are runners at second and third. Burrows the lead man at third. The courtesy runner, Luis Gonzalez, for the catcher, is back behind him at second. Taylor defense plays straight up with David and Vandermolen a step on the outfield grass and right. 2-2 pitch. Bouncing right side, foul. Gray jerseys and pants for Point Park with the white numbers on the front and back. And Point Park in green on the front. White pants for the Trojans, purple tops with the purple numbers and letters. Spelling Taylor and the new official Taylor font across the front that was debuted this fall. An athletics rebrand for the Taylor Athletic Department. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back again. Swinehart readies out of the stretch. The righty from the first base side. Tried to deal in a breaking ball that's low. Crouching down with it was Santana, and the count is run full. Point Park trying to get a bases-loaded situation. Their offense has been kept off balance all night by Swinehart. 2 double plays have helped keep it that way here. 3 balls, 2 strikes for the first baseman Santana, who's got a lot of pop. Hit a 3-run shot against Taylor last night. A skyscraper here. Will it stay in play as Vandermolen runs, and he's running out of room by about a good 10 feet. It was that 3-run home run by Santana that kickstarted the 4-0 bottom of the first for Point Park yesterday. They kept having the answer every time that Taylor came up. Was cutting into the lead, tied it. Point Park took the lead back, and then some missteps from Point Park defensively gave Taylor the lead for good, and the Trojans held on for a 12-10 final. 3-2 again. Up high for ball 4, and they're loaded up for the Pioneers as Santana jogs to first.
The home plate umpires addressing some chatter from the dugout.
Santana looked to have a couple of words directed towards Swinehart, the pitcher, on his way to first, and we've already seen Point Park head coach Lauren Torres tossed. That was back in the 3rd inning. After something was said from the Point Park dugout, a warning was issued, and then things escalated, and then the 14th-year head coach got tossed. And now Jeremy Hosier trying to keep the civility here from Winterholder Field. Bases full for the Player of the Year in the River States Conference, Jared Campbell. But before that will happen, the night is over for Dalton Swinehart. He goes 4 2/3. He'll get a standing ovation, and deservedly so, from this overflowing Taylor crowd. Bases full, 2 outs. Jack Ross has entered the building.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Jack Ross, the reclassified junior, comes in with the bases full. It's his second appearance of the opening round. He got the save in game one, going 3 into third against Cumberland. 2 outs against the player of the year, Jared Campbell, out of the River States Conference, and Ross fires in a fastball. You can hear that they love it. Dalton Swinehart was great tonight, going 4 2/3, ran into a buzzsaw here with the double and 2 walks to load the bases. Ross inside, gets Campbell to pop it up. Out of play, 0-2. 4 hits, no runs, but all 3 men on the bases are tagged right now to Dalton. 4 strikeouts, and a great bounce back from last night, showing not even making out of the first inning.
Yep, with 2 outs here, these Point Park base runners are going to be getting big leads, good jumps. They're going to try to make something happen.
0-2 is low, 1-2. Burrows the runner at third. Gonzalez the runner at second, and Santana behind him at first. It's a 10-0 hole here for Point Park as they bat in the top of the 5th. Desperately trying to get their first run tonight. 1-2. Bouncer left side. Kennedy's got it. He wants to fire to first. He does, and it's a hauled-in catch by Cade Vandermolen. And Ross does what Jack Ross does. He does not blink. The base is left full. We're halfway home in the championship game. Taylor leading 10-0 on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
A packed house here outside at Winterholder Field. We're so glad you're a part of our night tonight. Special shout out to #1 fan of the Trojan Sports Network, Mike Watson. His son was an okay baseball player. He won like a shiny glove or something after his senior season. Rumor has it we might be having another Watson making her way to Upland, Indiana. Again, just what our sources are telling us, nothing confirmed yet. We have not talked with Adam Schefter or Adrian Wojnarowski. Sam Glad starts off the bottom of the fifth as Jack Ross works out of a bases-loaded situation out of the pen, and Rivera misses low. It's 3-0 for Glad, who liked to rectify things. He had a bases-loaded chance and then popped up in foul ground his last time up in the third. Fourth one, and it's a 4-pitch walk. And the Trojans trying to get right back on the horse here offensively.
For our fans who've been watching us or listening in this entire week, you will have heard us say this phrase hundreds of times. You'll probably roll your eyes. For the rest of you,
Kennedy with the bunt. Nobody covering first, and it's an infield single for the speedy freshman.
everyone here is getting excited, and they should be. But you and me, Rick, after last night's game, 10 runs, I don't know.
10 runs.
You got to keep stacking up the runs here because we've seen Point Park. We know what they can do if they decide to turn on the bats.
We've seen a couple. Again, most of the people are like, oh, man, 7 runs in an inning. Sweet. Man, we've seen. Call me when you get 9 runs with 2 outs and your season on line. Then holler at me, okay?
3-2.
Yeah.
2 outs.
Yeah. Let's
Back
talk
against
about
the wall. Yeah, then we'll talk.
Or, 12 in the top of the 12th inning. Or let's talk about that, too. Knepp wants to bunt. He pulls it back, and it's ball 1 as the party is in full effect here at Winterholder Field tonight. A 10-0 lead for the home side. The Trojans a win away from just their second NAIA World Series appearance this year. The star of that team back in 1969, Denny Ladd, got inducted into the Hall of Fame this fall. What a fitting way to start the season with baseball history. And the Trojans trying to make some history here in 2023. Still, as Lincoln mentioned, and accurately so, still a ton to get to. Remember last night it was Cumberland up by 1 billion, and then the 9th inning happened, and it was just banana land. So, yeah. 2-0. That's a strike on the outside half, 2-1. Knepp tonight 0 for 2. He walked and scored on the bases-clearing double by Caleb Colpine. Caleb now 3 hits away, by the way, who's on deck from setting the single-season mark. Knepp with another bunt off the end of the glove of Fay. Everybody moves up 90 feet on the pass ball. 3-1 for the batter at the plate. Capitalizing on opportunities and miscues has been the name of the game for every team that's won. And it seems like it's been more important than normal.
It's one of those things in baseball. It's always important. You got to capitalize on errors and mistakes and free bases. But this tournament, when you're not playing a series, you're playing double elimination. Every mistake matters.
Ball 4, and they're loaded up for the red-hot Caleb Colpine. Teams have just, and time is called as associate head coach Rocky Capobianco wants to come in and chat, and it's going to be a pitching change here for Point Park. Bases are loaded. There's nobody out in the bottom of the 5th, and Taylor looking to tack on to this 10-0 lead here from Winterholder Field.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan. Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Caleb Kolpian's got the bases full. He is 2 for 3 tonight, is yet to be retired. He faces the right-hander Adam Zulka out of the pen. Nobody out in the 5th. Kolpian, when you're swinging like he is, that ball probably looks like a beach ball, and he fouls it away. 0-1. Zulka takes over for the starter, Joathan Rivera, who was really strong at stretches, but Taylor finally just chipped away at him and knocked him out of the game as he finishes his third appearance of the opening round. High and away, 1-1. Taylor, the regular season champions out of the Crossroads League, went 0-2 in the league tournament, but have roared mightily here in the opening round on their home field. 1-1, Kolpian lashes at it and it's sent foul, 1-2. Solo home run for Caleb in the bottom of the first that sent this place into hysterics. He walked and scored on the throwing miscue by Holly on the missed pickoff attempt, the first, and then cleared the bases in a bases-loaded situation with a double his most recent time up before now. To the left side, he's going to add more runs to the total. It's going to be a 12-0 Taylor lead as no one hotter than Caleb Kolpian in the Midwest tonight.
Clutch piece of hitting there, Rick. I mean, not much more you can say. Short, compact swing. He goes with that pitch, punches it up through the shortstop third base gap. Runners have a great jump. Just need to keep it rolling here for the Taylor Trojans.
Kolpian 3 for 3 with, get this, Lincoln, 6 runs batted in. Yo. Kolpian now 2 hits away from the single season hits mark. 93 here as a sophomore. And still nobody gone in the 5th. A heater down the middle. It's 0-1 to Timothy James Bass. Bass had the greatest single season offensive output a year ago. On his way to the Player of the Year in the Crossroads League and the first team All-American pick in program history. Fastball is away. It's 1-1. 18 homers on the year for TJ after belting a program best 23 last season. Got his first hit in almost a month at a single back in the first. He's been retired his last 2 times up. 1-2, a late swing on a curveball puts him down 1-2. Struck out looking in the third and then ended the inning his second time up with a swing and a miss. Nobody out, 2 runs home, 2 on the pond. A 12-0 Taylor lead in the title game. Bouncing it in, good read, but Knepp's got to scamper back to second. Same thing for Kolpian at first. 2-2 to the multi-time first-team All-League pick, Bass. 5 hits away from the career hits mark. Two from Zulka. Bass comes up empty. That's 3 straight strikeouts from Bass as Zulka blows a fastball by the big fella. We wondered going into the season who would fill the role of Connor Crawford, who had the second greatest single season offensively for the Trojans. The problem is he did it when Bass had the greatest offensive single season. Vandermolen has stepped in and done more than fill the role left by Connor from a season ago. A ball to Vandermolen. Connor, an all first-team Crossroads League pick last year, hit towering home runs, was a stellar center fielder. Got married after the season to his wife Alana, who played soccer here. Hard hit left side, almost double catching. It was Javier. He steps on third, throws to first, and Vandermolen out. The Taylor faithful don't like it. The Trojans cash in 2 on a bases-loaded chance. The home team's lead is 12 in the title game as we head to the 6th on the Trojan Sports Network. To the 6th we go. Taylor's lead is 12-0 over Point Park. And there is a filthy breaking ball from Jack Ross. Strike 1 to Mishali Brito. The Ross name known well here in Upland, Indiana. His uncle Gary, the head soccer coach for the Trojans. Gary watching his son Noah, who's tied for 33rd right now at the national tournament, with 3 over at last check. The men's golf team under the direction of first-year head coach Lauren Oak, right in the mix of making the cut out there in Arizona. 1-1, lashed at and screamed foul, 1-2. Jack's father, also a Taylor Golf alum, played golf here for the Trojans and is the head golf pro at Purdue. So ironically enough, Jack and his cousin Noah flip-flop the sports their fathers played here at soon to be all of their alma maters. 2-2. Jack and Noah both the same age. Noah a All-American a year ago on the Lynx. 2-2. High bounce over the middle will be a tough play for Kennedy. He scoops off a zip. He flicks it off of 1 foot, and Ben Kennedy is spectacular. 1 gone.
He makes it look easy, Rick.
Like we talked about this, I forget which game that Taylor played. You had 2 guys, one that was your shortstop, Brian Moore, another guy that became a great shortstop in Josh Lane. I mean, these shortstops that Taylor have, they just make everything look easy, and it's not. Moore, Kranak, who's in the Hall of Fame, Lane, Rushi, and Kennedy, who's like 19 years old and a kid. Can't even grow facial hair and is out here just spinning gems at short. A ball to Justin Oakley, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Point Park needs a win here to force a winner-take-all game tomorrow. Second one fouled away. The Trojans up 12-0, trying to have a coronation here on their home field in front of a overflowing capacity crowd and really send the party going here on finals week here for the Trojans' second all-time World Series berth and their first under this current format. Off speed, nice breaking pitch there from Ross. It's 1-2. Just 4 hits tonight for Point Park. Dalton Swinehart went the first 4 and 2/3, allowed just 4 hits. A great bounce back for him after Point Park knocked him out of the bottom of the top of the first, or the bottom of the first yesterday. Inside from Ross, 2 and 2. The Point Park dugout trying to chant on Oakley from the first base side, and it's sent foul. Still 2 and 2 from Oakley. Senior out of Fort Washington, Maryland. Second team All River States Conference. His first season in the green and gold after transferring from Coppin State. The 2-2. In the air right side, Oakley. Foul. Still 2 and 2. We already have one team from the state of Indiana onto the World Series. Taylor's Crossroads League rival, Indiana Wesleyan, a walk-off winner after their number 1 seed Weber International was eliminated yesterday. The Wildcats onto the World Series in the last season for head coach Rich Benjamin. Flailing and missing at one low is Oakley, and there is another strikeout. The first one make it for Ross. 2 outs at the top of the 6th. So Taylor trying to join their county foe and make it a 5th of the World Series from Grant County. 2 outs and nobody on for Javier Jr., the third baseman. Breaker away, ball 1. Javier Jr. scored the eventual winning run in the elimination game in the semis against Tennessee Wesleyan earlier today. Backdoor breaking ball. Inner half to the righty Javier Jr. Strike 1 to even the count. Ross out of the stretch. Bouncer left side, right to Kennedy. He waits on it. He fields. He fires. And it's a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. Everything going the Trojans' way. They lead 12-0 over Point Park in the Upland Bracket Championship game on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. $12-0 Taylor, bottom of the 6th. Mason David getting it going here for the Trojans. Rick Johnston, Lincoln Reed here with you on just an absolutely electric and cool night, both temperature-wise and atmosphere-wise. In Upland, Indiana, strike 2 on the corner to David, 0-2. Lincoln, you're an alum. What does this night mean?
It means so much, Rick. I mean, these guys have had an incredible season, but this is a game that I know all alums who are listening in right now they feel, I don't know, a shared part of this. And this is Taylor baseball. It's just as much a brotherhood as it is a baseball organization. And I know I'm one of those alums who is really hoping for a Taylor win tonight so the whole Taylor family can celebrate.
Still some work to do. We've seen Point Park eliminate multiple big deficits just like this throughout this opening round. So a 12-0 lead. I know it sounds funny to say, but okay, so let's be honest. After last night, a 12-0 lead doesn't seem safe.
Well, to me and you, Rick, who
sat here and watched that insanity.
Everyone else here is ecstatic, and they should be. But after watching that Tennessee Wesleyan ninth inning, I think you and I become just a little bit jaded.
Yeah, or a lot jaded. One of the two. One of the two. Two balls, two strikes as David fouls one away, trying to get his first hit of the night here in the title game of the Upland bracket. Bouncer right side, but right to his counterpart, Murillo, the second baseman, sidearms to first, and there's one retired. The catcher fan club for Ben Calbaugh. Send this place into the stairs to the 2 RBI double with 2 outs in the first. Comes up here with the bases vacant. Launches it foul. I remember when Ben was a freshman not a couple of years ago, a bunch of years ago, was out hitting off of a tee with former pitcher Tucker Wattups. And Tucker looked at me and said, as Ben continued to just rope hard line drives, ball one, makes it 1-1. Just rope line drives into the outfield his first semester here at school. Tucker just looked at me and goes, I think the kid's going to be pretty good. Well, Tucker was right. 2-1 now to Calbaugh, who has been one of the top men when it comes to exit velocity. And the Trojans record that during the fall year, over 100 pretty much since day one. That one, if he could have connected, might have been at 100 miles an hour. Instead, it's a foul ball straight back, 2-2. Ben reached on a fielder's choice, then Picchiotti, his courtesy runner, came in and scored. 1 out, 2-2. Curveball looking for strike 3. A good-looking pitch there from Zulka. Freezes Calbaugh, 2 gone. Taylor 3 for 7 tonight with 2 outs. Braden Manning looking to get that first hit tonight here for TU. Freshman out of Minnesota. Bouncer up the middle. Does have enough juice to get through? It does. Just past the cutting Martinez. I'm going to talk about exit velocity. That dude's got some exit velocity. A rare boo from the home fans when their team leads 12-0. They wanted Manning to go run, but the wise decision is to give the speedster Drew Loy the turn at first, particularly with the substitution rules as they are in the NAIA. One free substitution is the best way to describe it. Think of it like the substitution rules in softball for those of you that are familiar. The batter is Sam Glad, the lefty freshman, and he gets underneath the first one and fouls it back. We're in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 12-0 Taylor lead in a championship atmosphere and game tonight from Upland, Indiana. Glad sits on a breaking ball low, and looks like it's going to be Zulka's game to take here for a while, with a couple guys sitting in the Point Park bullpen, but no real movement so far. Third appearance for Zulka as he checks on Loy at first. It was Zulka who took the loss last night, entered in the 5th inning, lasted just 2/3 through 22 pitches, but gave up the 3 runs, including the go-ahead runs for the Trojans as they defeated Point Park yesterday 12-10. They're up 12-0 tonight. Loy goes. Strike at the plate. Throw is high. Sliding in Loy. Safe at second base. And now the fans and students that were unhappy to see Manning leave now cheer Loy's stolen base. You don't get to 600 wins by listening to the fans, right? Particularly the college kids. I love them, but I'm going to go with the guy in the third base box. Looking for strike 3, and Zulka struts off the mound, and rightfully so, as 2 big strikeouts from 4 in Gray. We've completed 6 innings here of the championship game. Taylor leading Point Park 12-0 on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Drew Loy stays in to play center field for Taylor after pinch running in the bottom of the 6th. Jack Ross out for a second full inning of work. It was Loy that came in to run for Braden Manning. And so taking Bass's spot in the center. In center field, Bass now moves to left. 2 away from Ross to Carlos Martinez. It's 2-0. A 3 up, 3 down, top of the 6th as Ross electric in his 4th season in the purple and gray. Just below the knees, 3-0. Now that zone starting to tighten up here in the 7th stanza.
Taylor just 9 outs away from securing a bid to the World Series.
The 3-0. A 4-pitch walk is not how Ross wanted to start the top of the 7th with a speedy Martinez on the bases. Now, I'll take you to an evening ago, my friend, and when the 7th inning started, that's when things started to get a little loopy with Tennessee Wesleyan and Cumberland.
I don't think that's
I'm just
evening you or I don't think we're going to forget that one for a long time.
No. I'm just stating it for the people out there. If you missed it last night, go back and watch it. It was nuts. But things started to get a little hairy in the 7th. You kind of like, well, it might start to get a little loose here. 5 pitches out of the zone here for Ross.
We could recap that game, but I don't know if anyone would believe us if we told them what happened in that 9th inning.
There's a great write-up on the Cumberland website. They were the team that took the loss last night. They go into great detail. It's fantastic. A ball to Burrows. Flare to center field, and Loy, fresh off the bench, his first defensive opportunity is a clean catch in center. 1 gone. Burrows retired for the 2nd time tonight. There's a 10-0 lead, or 10-0 deficit, I should say, for Point Park. As they loaded the bases in the 5th, but then Ross came out of the pen to replace Swinehart, got a ground out. And it seemed like that could have been the turning point that we've seen Point Park have so many times, but the Trojans were able to snuff it out. Strike down the middle, 0-1 to J.M. Fay. Fay walked his first time up, replacing the injured Jordan Campbell, who we wish the best to, got hurt after singling, trying to run from home to first in the 3rd inning on what looked to be a scary lower body injury. One and one. 1 out, top of the 7th. Great speed in Carlos Martinez, the man at first. He stays here, swing and a miss from Fay, and Ross goes ahead 1-2. The leadoff walk was the first base runner that Ross has allowed since coming out of the pen. 1-2 at the knees, looking, strike three, and Ross knew it was in there when it left his hand. 2 outs. Ross with 8 saves on the season, got to 8 in the 3-2 win against Cumberland to start the opening round off for Taylor. First pitch, right side, David. Oh, it bounces off of his mitt and bounced off the lip of the outfield grass. Colpine just overruns it. No extra harm done, as running on contact with 2 outs was Martinez as he shows off the wheels. A 2-out single for Murillo's got men at the corners, and Point Park trying to get their first run of the night here with 2 outs. Cowball comes out from behind home plate, sends a defensive signal in. That's a tough one for David to take. Looked to be right there, a chance to pick it up off the right above the turf, get that out number 3, but it just missed and then trampolined into right field.
Yeah, that's a tough play, no. Any way you slice it, it's a judgment call, and the ball just didn't get the right hop that time.
First and third for the first baseman, Isaac Santana. Inside of the lefty, ball 1. Santana's 1 for 2 tonight. Into the first of what would be 2 double plays spun by the Trojans tonight. In the first inning was that first twin killing. Bouncer right side. Taylor just needs 1 out here. David wants to get the force out at second, and Kennedy, and he does. Another 0 on the board, 7 of them in total. It's time to stretch for this capacity crowd at Winterholder Field. Their team leads 12-0.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
One of 3 seniors on the Point Park roster is the man on the mound right now, number 24, Sebastian Rodriguez, who has been electric in every time he's been on the mound this opening round for Point Park. With his pitching mate Easton Klein and the left fielder Justin Oakley, he faces Ben Kennedy in the bottom of the 7th with Taylor batting and leading 12-0. Kennedy rips it to center field. Campbell's got great speed, and he takes about 3 gliding steps. And for the folks that are just seeing Campbell for the first time, they thought Kennedy had a hit, but for those of us that watched Jared in center field, you had a pretty good idea it was going to be out number 1.
Yeah, the ball was tattooed, but just like you said, Rick, you got a talented outfield like this. When it's hit right at him, that's going to be a surefire out.
Top of the order in Cam Knepp. Rodriguez yesterday got the start after getting the save in that big win against Tennessee Wesleyan Monday night. He went 2 1/3 against the Bulldogs, gave up 4 hits but just 1 run against the top seed that Point Park eliminated from this opening round. 2 strikes here on Knepp in the 7th. Yesterday, Sebastian went 4 2/3 to give up the Vandermolen home run. Knepp opposite way, the lefty fouls it, 0-2. 90 pitches for Rodriguez yesterday, so he's thrown 123 coming into this one. 0-2 again. Right near the top of the shoes, 1-2 for Knepp. Sebastian's cousin also on the team, Ramon Rodriguez, both out of Puerto Rico. 1-2, almost got a piece of Knepp. Checking, third base side, Michael Ingram says, nope, it's ball 2. This place was electric early on, and now the Taylor fans just trying to see their team get the last couple of innings outs that they need. 2-2. Swing and a miss as Knepp chases one high. It's 2 outs here for Taylor in the 7th. They look to avoid going down in order for just the second time tonight. And here's Caleb Colpine, who's red hot. Colpine a hit away from tying the single season hits mark. Breaking ball away, ball 1, 93 hits is what Colpine has right now. The top hit man is Nathan Taggart, both in a single season and a career. 2-0 high. Colpine led the state of Indiana in batting his senior year at Homestead High School, an hour north in Fort Wayne. Batted over 500 at the high school level, and it's carried over here to college. Breaker away, it's 3-0. He was second for the batting title last year as a freshman. He won the batting title in the Crossroads League this year. Has been over 400 since the season started, it felt like, in January. Fourth one from Rodriguez is a ball high, and it's a 4-pitch walk. As Colpine has batted 5 times tonight, Lincoln, he has not been retired once.
Yeah, he's showing great discipline at the plate. And this whole entire offense, it's just a lot of fun to watch.
Luke Picchiotti comes in to run for Colpine at first base. So the Trojans will be looking to make another defensive switch and change when we get to the top of the 8th inning, as Picchiotti, an outfielder by trade, and 2 out and 1 on for TJ Bass. Bass over his last 3 plate appearances with 3 strikeouts. Wants to jump on the first one from Rodriguez and skitters it foul. Rodriguez takes over for Zulka, who went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs, and a couple of big strikeouts last inning as Taylor was threatening to add to their lead. A soft toss to first. It almost got away from Santana, but this time it lands on the feet of Picchiotti. The single in the first for Bass was his first hit in some weeks. He struck out 3 times since, 1 looking and 2 swinging. Second one, good backhand stab by Fay as he slides to the right. First 2 men retired of the inning. A 4-pitch walk to Caleb Colpine has extended it. As Picchiotti takes his place at first. The lights overhead starting to take hold with the sun setting here in Upland, Indiana. Curveball, Bass in the air to right field. Tracking it as Burrows. He comes in, and he's there for out number 3. 7 innings in the books here from Winter Holder Field. Taylor, the home team, and the 2 seed, leading the 4 seed Point Park 12-0 on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing.
A lively atmosphere tonight in Upland, Indiana. Jack Ross and the Trojans out defensively as we start the top of the 8th inning with the heart of the Point Park order, Jared Campbell, Mershali Brito, and Justin Oakley. Shift is on to the left for Taylor. Foul tip goes off of the mask of Ben Calball on the arm of Jeremy Hosier, the home plate umpire. Strike one. 0 for 2 night for Jared Campbell. Has had a hit in every game of the opening round so far until today. Was 0 for 3 with 2 walks against Tennessee Wesleyan. Foul tips. Calball holds on. Quickly 0-2 as Ross has found a nice groove here. Tied the single-season save records with his save against Cumberland Monday. Liner into right field. Bass, the new right fielder, comes in, makes the casual catch off his left shoulder, and there are two, is one gone here in the inning. Defensive shift as Bass is in right now, replacing Caleb Colpine. Picciotti's in center, and Loy is in left. Just 2 base runners have gotten on against Ross here since entering in the bases loaded 2-out situation in the 5th. Pitches a ball to the 0 for 3 night of Brito, the DH for Point Park. Another slider away from Ross, 2-0. 2 strikeouts for Brito and a ground out to Kennedy on a stellar play. Third one inside, and it's ball 3. You mentioned Point Park in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh, named after Point State Park, and that was mentioned that's the point where the 3 rivers of Pittsburgh meet, and the park is just a couple blocks away from the Pioneer campus. You can see the skyline in there. Really cool looking logo. 4-pitch walk, and Brito's on for the first time here tonight. There is a right-hander warming up in the Taylor pen. It's Jared Crandall. Ross has been the lead end-of-inning guy, closer, saver guy, save man this year for the Trojans, but Crandall's been right there as a more than capable number 2 option. Fouled back by Oakley. Justin, one of 3 graduating seniors on the Point Park roster. His first and only season after transferring from Coppin State, his second team All River State's selection for the Pioneers. Nice frame by Calball, brings it down to the top of the letters, 0-2. An 0 for 3 night here for Oakley. It was 1 for 4, but did reach twice against Tennessee Wesleyan earlier today on fielder's choices and scored both of those times. 0-2, way away from the righty, 1-2. Top of the 8th, Taylor leading 12-0. 3 runs in the first, 7 in the third, 2 in the 5th. For the Trojans trying to win the opening round for the first time in program history and do so on their home field. Torch to center field by Oakley. Picciotti ranging into the gap in right center. And the former UIC Flame makes the grab, and there are 2 retired. Lincoln, this is that unique time of the night. Sun setting, a little dark, a little light. So when you play on your home field, it helps you trying to track balls like that we just saw Lloyd do in center.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, having that home field advantage in a game like this, it does mean a lot. And you're right, it's that awkward time of night where the sky is transitioning, and if you don't see it clearly right off the bat, you could lose it despite the lights being on.
The lights are on, and everybody's home tonight at Winter Holder Field. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball by Javier Jr. Second one. This time it's low. 1-1. Taylor fans wanted that one to be strike two. A 1-for-2 night for the third baseman with a single his first time up in the second. Low away, 2-1. Two outs, one on. A fly out and a ground out for Javier Jr. tonight. Two-seamer missing inside from Ross, 3-1. Taylor's offense has exploded at times. They've been quiet at times. The defense and pitching has been pretty steady here this evening. Ross got out of a sticky situation in the seventh. Trying to not get another one situation like that here. But he does with a two-out walk, and there are two on for Point Park, looking for their desperately needing runs. They trail 12-0. And here comes Taylor pitching coach Justin Barber. I'd like to take this time to remind you that the Taylor Athletic Department would like to thank Nelson's for their presenting sponsorship of the opening round and also of the press box, fueling our fantastic crew tonight, like our producer Payne Moses, who's going to graduate in 3 days. Payne, you have all your affairs in order? You're going to figure it out. Do you have the cap and gown yet? Oh, yeah. Does it fit? I'm sure it'll fit. Are you going to go shirt and tie with dress pants, or are you going to go shorts? You're a classy guy. You would go dress pants. Good job, Payne. Payne, a member of the golf team, so he's got a keen eye on the old golf stat, live stat, watching the boys out there in Arizona. We always know the golf team is in there working because the lab is right next door to our office, so we hear these just earth-shattering drives ringing out next door, and we go, oh, the boys are next door. Now, I'm quick to say this. Some of our women's players also mash the golf ball. So sometimes you kind of got to listen to the music that's getting played or kind of hear who's talking to figure out who's doing it. But let me tell you, you know when our kids got the driver in their hands next door. Two outs and a backdoor pitch misses from Ross. It's 1-0 as he tries to retire Carlos Martinez and bring the top of the eighth to a close. Point Park ran away and hid from Fisher College. They had a comeback win against Tennessee Wesleyan Monday night. Had a tight loss last night at this Taylor club, and then comeback win to get to the spot in extra innings against number 4 in the country, Wesleyan. Those comeback wins, though, the opponents of Point Park allowed life to continue to be breathed into the offense. High hit ball to left field. Loy dancing in, now backpedals. He camps underneath. For the Trojans, as the out is recorded, they have snuffed out every offensive opportunity tonight for Point Park. We head to the bottom of the eighth, Taylor leading 12-0. A championship and a World Series berth on the line.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
The older of the Colpine brothers, Cade Colpine, pinch hits with Norby Fernandez to follow. Bottom of the 8th, Taylor ahead 12-0 on Point Park. They're trying to get some more runs here as Colpine swings and misses for a strike here against Sebastian Rodriguez. Well, this is appropriate. One Cade batting for the other. Colpine for Vandermolen. Colpine chases one low, 0-2. 9 hits tonight here for TU. They lead 12-0, scoring 3 times. And a looking strike 3 as Rodriguez makes quick work of the elder Colpine. So Norby Fernandez bats for Mason David here in the bottom of the 8th. Brennan Frickle will pinch hit next. Big swing and a miss from Fernandez. That's 4 straight strikes dealt here by Rodriguez. Swing and a miss on another slider from Rodriguez. 0-2. Fernandez, one of a handful of seniors on the Trojan roster out of Canton, Michigan. Like Cade before him, an elder statesman. 2-strike pitch and a swing and a miss, and Rodriguez making quick work of the 2 pinch hitters he's seen from the Trojans. 3 up, 6 pitches and down, and here's Brennan Frickle. Highly touted freshman out of Driftwood, Texas. He committed and signed to play at Houston in the same class of all-world hitter Cole Turney for Cumberland, who played at Houston. Frickle reopened his commitment and has landed here at Taylor. 7th pitch is out of the zone, ball 1. Frickle gave the walk-off hit to beat Marion on this field earlier this season. Fastball misses away, 2-0. Frickle was slated to be the starting second baseman for Taylor, broke his hand, got hit by a pitch in the second at-bat of his college career back in January in Arizona. Hard hit left side, and it's pulled foul, third base. 2-1 here to Frickle. Taylor's season started on the West Coast. They're trying to get back there at the end of the season in the World Series. The 2-1. Low, ball 3, and if Frickle gets on, you assume he will stay. He's got good speed. Drew Loy, the man on deck for TU. If Frickle can get on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, Taylor ahead by 12. Almost landed on that repaired hand. It's a walk with 2 outs for Frickle. Very cool opportunity here for these seniors, particularly Cade Colpine, Drew Loy. Norby Fernandez, Drew Loy, just a sophomore, but very cool for these guys that haven't gotten a lot of time this season, particularly at the plate, to get an opportunity in the opening round on the home field in this environment. Loy fouls it back, strike 1. Loy, a 190 average. Top pinch runner for the Trojans this year, and also a defensive substitute in center field, as we've seen tonight. Takes it low, off speed, strike 2 at the knees. The bottom of the 8th is where we are. We have 2 outs. And Taylor leading 12-0, a win away from their second World Series appearance in program history. Loy batting out of the 7th spot for Taylor. 2-strike pitch in the turf, ball 1. Joe Locos is on deck if Loy can get on the bases with Frickle, who worked a 2-out walk, the batter before him. Rodriguez home, the 1-2. Loy, a pop-up to the infield. Underneath is Murillo. He's got it for out number 3. The Trojans are 3 outs away from their first World Series berth in 54 years. We go to the top of the 9th next with Jared Crandall coming in to slam the door.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Pinch hitter to start the top of the 9th. It is number 6, Luis Rodriguez. Against the new pitcher, Jared Crandall, top of the 9th. That's a strike to start. The Trojans 3 outs away from their second World Series appearance in program history. The first one coming back in 1969, 54 years ago. Low ball 1. Crandall knows a thing about starting a dog pile. He got the final out to secure Taylor's regular season undisputed title at Goshen. Swing and a miss to the pinch hitting Gonzalez, strike 2. Crandall deals, knees, strike 3. 1 gone in the 9th. Crandall takes over for Ross. Pitching has been stellar tonight. Swinehart and then Ross. And now Crandall. And here's J.M. Fay, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout tonight. Point Park down 12-0 in the top of the 9th. Their season on the line. Fay skies it. Cowball. It's in play. He's tracking on the on-deck circle, and then it just trickles out of play. And now some of the Taylor fans and students dogging one of their students, fellows, for not making the play. You got to make the play, as you know.
Always.
Always. Upland, Indiana, the site. Winter Holder Field, the hometown Taylor Trojans, 2 outs away from going back to the World Series for the first time in 54 years, and Crandall blows by a heater. 0-2 to the swinging Fay. Cole Vida, the pinch hitter on deck, as the lineup will take us back to the top. The 0-2. And the Trojans are an out away from their second World Series berth in program history. Winter Holder Field rises to its feet. Crandall got the last out to secure the Crossroads League regular season title. He's trying to put the Trojans to the World Series here.
Goals bringing in the outfielders.
Outfield brought in. It's a strike here to the pinch hitting Vida. 2 outs, nobody on. 12-0 Taylor lead in the 9th. Strike 2, and the Trojans are a strike away from Lewiston, Idaho. Winterholder Field can feel it. Crandall readies. 0-2. Ball 1. Everybody's got to re-tee up now. Get the phone re-racked. Crandall secured the Crossroads League title, trying to secure a World Series bid. The 1-2. Tails away, 2-2.
This whole stadium feels like it's locked in an inhale, Rick. You can feel that anticipation here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A strike away are the Trojans from the World Series. The pitch. Outside corner! And for the first time in 54 years, and the second time in program history, the Taylor Trojans are off to the World Series! Write it down, 9:08 Eastern Time, May 17th, 2023. The Trojans of Taylor are back in the World Series for the second time in program history. And as we mentioned earlier, Lincoln, it seems fitting that Denny Ladd, the superstar from that team, was inducted into the Hall of Fame here at Taylor this fall. And the current Trojans are going back to the World Series.
Yeah, the timing couldn't be any more perfect, Rick. And what a way to clinch that World Series berth. We see coaches and players hugging on the field.
A lot of hugs on the field. Folks, here's the deal. We're going to have a really long Ivanhoe's postgame show potentially. You might bring the whole team up here. I don't know. The party's been going since 6 o'clock, and it's going to keep going on here tonight from Winterholder Field. Lincoln, you're an alum. I asked you earlier what this night meant at the beginning. It's the ending every Taylor fan wanted. What does this night mean now?
It means so much, Rick. I mean, this is what you, from day one of the fall season, this is what you practice for. It's always the goal. And as someone who has been in this boat in the opening round and not made it this far, I mean, it can be heartbreaking to get so close and come up short. So to see this team battle through this season, have a fantastic opening round tournament, and then to finally clinch this World Series bid, it's wonderful. It's as an alum, it's just like you feel like, man, this is what years and years of great ball players for the last 54 years have been working toward, and this feels like a very, as our president would say here at Taylor, a hinge moment.
Oh, we got it's a hinge. You can hang a whole door on it. That hinge is so strong. 40 wins for the Trojans. Taylor head coach Kyle Gould, the all-time winningest coach in program history. Here come the Trojans. Legendary coach at Spring Arbor, Sam Riggleman's got a piece of hardware. The 3 fifth-year seniors, Norby Fernandez, Cade Colpine, are all going to come in and get this opening round trophy. An ear-to-ear smile for Ben Cowbaugh. Hugs all around, but some hardware coming for the Trojans in their first opening round championship ever. The Trojans thought they had a pretty good team in 2020. They knocked off Lewis and Clark State. The COVID-19 pandemic ruined that. And here's the trophy presentation from Sam Riggleman to Bass, Fernandez, and Colpine and Vandermolen. A dream 54 years in the making realized. Some wonderful words from the Hall of Fame coach Sam Riggleman. He went to the World Series a couple of times. The Trojans have the hardware in hand. And Lewiston, Idaho, the Trojans are coming your way in a few days. The Taylor Trojans, the champions in 2023 of the Upland bracket. They celebrate on their home field. Gloves and hats are scattered everywhere. And the guys in purple and gray don't care at all. They've got the trophy. They've got the banner. It says Taylor. They're going to take a photo that's going to get shared all over social media over the next few hours. The Taylor Trojans, the 2 seed in the Upland bracket. As President Dr. Michael Lindsay comes in and gives Taylor head coach Kyle Gould a big hug. The Trojans are on to the World Series for the second time in program history. We will take a break and come back with a very fun Ivanhoe's postgame show.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student-athletes.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Well, we have some guests on the Ivanhoe's post-game show. You go to the World Series, you got to fight girlfriends and moms and family members to get photos, and we're joined by the 3 fifth-year seniors. First up is TJ Bass. First, TJ, how good is it to see that Trojan head logo, 3-0 and going to the World Series?
I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, you look at that. All the hard work and all the hours put in, just to see that and do it with your best buds, kind of takes your breath away. Makes you really have to hold back some tears.
It's okay. I'm probably going to cry, so we'll cry together. It's fine. People will laugh at me. They won't laugh at you because you're much bigger than I am. You did everything you could last year offensively. You wanted to come back for one more go-around. What was it like to play in this environment tonight in a true sellout with people like spilling over the seats?
I mean, time like last year, conference tournament, you look up and down the rows and down the sidelines, it's just packed. And when we got a chance to come out here again and do it again a 5th year, all the time and effort, like I said, you got to put in. And then to come out and you look up and you just see it completely packed. Kind of takes your breath away. Man, it's just been such a fun ride, and especially to do it with all the guys here and, so many new guys who you get to build those relationships with. I mean, thinking back, it feels like just yesterday we're in Arizona and you're spending 2 weeks with a bunch of guys you don't know completely. Oh, man, it's something you won't be able to describe for a while. So
54 years in the making, second time Taylor's ever gone to the World Series. First one was back in 1969. As we mentioned at the end of the game, the superstar from that game, Denny Ladd, was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
No pressure on if Colby wants to pitch, but Denny got the win and hit a home run in the same game out there. So I'm not trying to put Caleb on the mound. But last thing, and we're going to ask all three of your two other buddies this, Cade Vandermolen and Benjamin Calbaugh Jr. III. You guys won both your games coming into this. You didn't have to play until 6 o'clock. We're all aware of how the human mind works. I'm sure you thought what it would be like to win tonight. Is the reality as good as the dream?
Oh my gosh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you're sitting there all day. You come and watch games. You're not even playing in, just to be in there on the atmosphere. And then the whole day today, you're sitting there like, man, we got a chance to finish this thing off. But like Coach was saying all week, all day, it's just one game. You go in and rest of the year you're playing for win a series, but today you're just playing to win one game. And it was a huge team effort, and guys are constantly cheering each other on, picking each other up, and it was just one big marathon today. Just inning by inning, pitch by pitch. Something happens, doesn't go our way. It's doing it with your best buds, like I said, and coming out on top of this thing.
Congratulations, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Get ready to go to Idaho.
Absolutely.
That is TJ Bass. He'll pass the headset over to Ben Calbaugh, the Fort Lauderdale native. He puts the opening round trophy down. Now he quickly puts his hand back on it. Cade Vandermolen will pick it up, make sure it's under a safe watchful eye.
Probably not safe in my hands.
Well, it's okay.
I'm pretty clumsy.
It's okay. Ben, you were not clumsy tonight there in the bottom of the first. A 2-out opportunity. Caleb leaves the yard. The place is going nuts. And then if the place couldn't get any louder, you smoke one off the left field fence. Could you hear how loud this place got in the first?
No, every time that sort of thing happens, I sort of black out, and I just start cheering really loud and kind of lose my voice, and I don't know what's going on.
Well, good. We both lost our voices. That's good. I'm glad, Ben. I'm glad we're in shared company. Same thing I asked TJ. I'm sure your mind has wondered what this would be like. What is it like?
It's just an awe of what's going on. You never thought at the beginning of the year we would be here, especially with all the new guys coming in. So many freshmen had to step up and do their job because we lost a lot of big bats last year. Nick Rushi, Connor Crawford, and just to see them step up as a big player for us, it's just truly amazing, honestly. I can't believe we've done this. It's just so unbelievable.
Was it kind of hard to look when Coach Riggleman's there? He brings the three of you together. He brings Norby over. You the fifth-year seniors. He's got the trophy in his hands. It says opening round champion 2023. Was it kind of like a dream just seeing them hand the trophy to you guys?
Definitely was a dream come true. We've been dreaming it since you came in, Cade? 4 years ago. It's been big opportunity for us. We just really wanted to go after it.
You're from Florida. Your parents ready to fly to Idaho?
Yeah, my mom said to my dad, "Listen, I don't care how much money we have to spend. We're going to Idaho. We're seeing his last games. We don't care."
Well, my friend, you leave Taylor on your home field as a winner, and you get a chance to go make some more noise out at the World Series.
Hey, can I say one more thing, Rick, before I go?
Yeah.
All right, Pops. I wanted to say how much I love you. I hope you're hearing this at home, and that one's for you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Ben Calbaugh, the catcher tonight, who sent this place into hysterics with a 2 RBI double in the bottom of the first, and we get our third and final fifth-year senior, Cade Vandermolen. Can anyone you say hi to before we get going here? I don't want to leave anybody out. We got a lot. I know there's a lot of Iowa here.
Most of my family's here, but I guess to anybody else, I got a big family back home. Hi guys, love you. Yeah, I'm just at a loss for words.
You had a monumental home run against these guys yesterday. What was it like to come back and finish the job tonight? Not only to come and play tomorrow, just go 3 and out and win.
Unbelievable. I was just thankful it wasn't stressful. We finally didn't play a close game. Kind of ran away with it for once, which I guess you never expect that to happen in one of the biggest games of your career. But, yeah, so proud of our guys. I think back to all the guys that were older than me when I came in and pushed me and pushed this team. I think about Coach Gould and all the other guys that came before us, and say thank you to them. I'm just thankful. I'm glad we did it.
What's it been like? There's been so many alums that have been back today, obviously, with the 6 o'clock start time. There are folks watching all over the country that have ties to Taylor baseball, played, coached, parented, married into, all that stuff. What's it like to be a part of the Taylor baseball team for those of us that don't know?
I think that speaks to it right there, just how connected the Taylor baseball family is. you hear stories about guys that came 10, 15 years before you, and those stories get passed down. And just the brotherhood that exists within the team, the culture we have, just how close-knit all the Taylor baseball family is. I think that speaks to it right there, just how many guys come back and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm.
A 54-year dream realized tonight on the home field. It would have been special anywhere. Was it even more special to do it here at home in front of this insane asylum that was Winter Holder Field
No
tonight?
doubt, no doubt. I want to say thank you to everybody that came out. Unbelievable support. Thinking back to the conference tournament last year and just what that experience was like, this year topped it. The amount of people that came out and said stuff to us around campus, just pushing us on, encouraging words, unbelievable. Yeah, thank you to everybody who came out.
What was today like? Having to wait around for a 6 o'clock start time.
Tough.
Because let people know, you guys all have your finals done for the most part. You know, so it's not like, oh, I gotta go take this final. Like, you've been literally just waiting for 6 o'clock all day.
Yeah.
So what's today been like?
Try to sleep in. And I think talking to the guys in the locker room before we came out, everybody was like, yeah, I was up at 7:30. Yeah, I was up at 8. Like, I couldn't sleep. And I think that speaks to it right there. Just try to keep yourself busy and everything, but yeah, you just try to anticipate and look forward to it. So
I'll ask you the same thing that I asked Benny and TJ. Is the reality as good as the dream?
It's better. It's better, especially do it in front of everybody that's loved and supported on us throughout all my time here, and everybody that's came before. It's better. It's a dream come true.
Have fun with graduation Saturday. I'm sure you guys are going to float across that stage.
Yeah, we will.
And probably got some laundry to do to get ready for Idaho.
No doubt. Pack the bags.
Yeah, 54-year dream in the making, buddy. Congratulations. We're so proud of you guys.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.
That's Kate Vandermolen joining us here, and we have reclaimed the head coach of the Taylor Trojans, Kyle Gould. He has enjoyed a sip of Diet Coke. He's also enjoyed a chip from Nelson's. All of our post-game show comments brought to you by the fine folks at Nelson's. You're an alum of Taylor, Coach Gould. You're taking the team to their second World Series ever. What's it like?
Well, I'm just watching our guys go over and shake the Point Park guy's hand. It's nice. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really special. It still feels like, it feels like a. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy for our guys. They've had such a great year, and I think we have 30 alums easy here, and just hearing from those guys, and I'm just happy that they want to come out and be a part of it, and that they're happy for these guys, and I hope they understand how much their success has led to this, and yeah, it's pretty special.
We had an alum on the air with us this week in Lincoln Reed, and we try not to bring up the fact that you guys went to the opening round in Georgia and went 2-0. Third time you guys host. Not to put any pressure on it, but the last two winners of the opening round, you had the national runner-up and the national champ. So I mean,
yeah, I'm not worried about any of that right now.
Okay.
Well, let's start with this. Lincoln Reed is one of the very, very, very best players to ever play here. He's one of the hardest working, one of the toughest, and had an incredible 2-year career, deservedly so, Crossroads League Player of the Year. And I hear he does a great job on the broadcast, but he is a brilliant guy, and obviously he's a respected faculty member here now. But yeah, you have guys like Lincoln that makes your job pretty easy.
As an alum, does this make even more special?
We talked to other guys. I don't know what to compare it to. I know that if we never made the World Series, I would die very blessed and very happy with my time at Taylor. And that isn't to diminish like how bad all the guys who've played here, guys like Lincoln and I wanted to go there, but I don't think it's something that it's like it can't be an idol. It can't be the only thing. It can't be, if we don't make it to Idaho, then Taylor baseball is worthless. Like, Taylor baseball means a lot because of how much these guys love each other and what great teammates they are and what great friends and who they become as people attending the finest Christian college in the country. And so sometimes you have to kind of get ego out of the way and be like, hey, it's going to be okay. We're going to go and we're going to do our best. Like Lincoln's team, we went down and there was crazy weather and it was a bad day. But it doesn't diminish that that was our first 40-win team. That team won the league. That was a great team with great players. I saw Brian Moore's dad down there, and they're just amazing people. And so this is so special for these guys, and I hope our alums feel a part of it. But I don't have any magic like, oh, this team was just so much better at this one thing. Like, we've had a lot of great teams, and it happened this year. And I think it's, I just think that's what it is. And I'm so happy for these guys and the memories that we've created and what lies ahead. But to be honest with you, Rick, I don't know what lies ahead. I don't know when it starts. I don't know when we're leaving. Natalie tried to tell me yesterday something about flights, and I was like, I'm not listening to any of that. So I have no clue.
It sounds like Thursday's problem.
Yeah, I don't even. Is today Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
today's Wednesday, so yeah. There's plenty of time to do that. I just am enjoying just standing here watching these guys celebrate. So.
You also have to enjoy seeing the that newly minted Trojan head. On the,
Well, Natalie's excited with her logo there, but no, I mean all of it. This, I asked the guys this year. I was unsure whether we should put in a bid to host because I was like, well, should we go somewhere else? And I knew they'd send one of the top teams here, and I just said, I don't know. So I asked we have a leadership group. The players pick them in the summer, and I just said, hey guys, what? It's a new thing since Lincoln left because we just did whatever Lincoln and Brian Moore wanted. That's
that was, that was a pretty good call, by the way.
Yeah. And they were like, no, we're hosting. We're playing at home, and so. As a moment, I looked up and I think I saw Sandra Atkinson here. But I just, you just think like, man, Coach A, I mean, he's smiling on us today, and he would have loved this. He'd have loved all of it. And, there's a lot. There's a lot with it, but I'm just happy for all these guys. They just look so happy. So
I thought of Coach A today.
Mm-hmm.
I went actually and patted the A in the first base coach's box. Need a little bit of luck, mainly to keep the voice going today. And I don't know if he'd been smiling down last night during that 5-hour game. He might have stayed up for it. I hope, but
he loved baseball. I don't remember the last time I was on a baseball field. I didn't think about him, and I'm texting with some alums about it. Like, man, Coach A would have been out at the field at 6 a.m. And I'm like, I know, we'd had to lock the gates. So, yeah, I hope. I'm sure there's some guys listening. I just hope they. I mean, it seems like a funny thing to say, but we've been really good for a long time. We haven't had a bad year in forever, and it's a tribute to guys that have played here. And I hope they all really appreciate that it was a matter of time. I can say that now, and it was a matter of time. And if you keep good long enough, eventually it's whatever it is, the bracket, the team, the whatever, the weather, the whatever it is. And so, I hope they all feel that, and like to be able to play, here at Winter Holder Field in this amazing facility and get to host and to win on your home field. Like it looked like a dog pile for the ages. I don't think they were worried about getting hurt on this one. There was some gingerness at the one at Goshen in front of 7 people. So
there were more than 7 here tonight. I wanted to ask you about that. This place was electric. President Dr. Lindsay is leading cheers.
Oh, was he really? Yeah.
After the ejection. Stood up and just as I look at him, I go, "Who's spelling?" And I go, "Oh, it's the president of the university."
Well,
and what was it? I mean, was there any time you kind of just looked maybe before an inning started down there at third base and you go,
"Yeah,
man, this place is just packed."
I did it in the first inning. I did the same thing, but I looked up and I was like, my first thought was, we built it the right size. You want it to be full on a big game, but it was full, and there's people lined around, and I just looked up and was like, man, this is awesome. Like, what fun for these players. And then we get off. Caleb decides to hit it dead into the wind, right? That is how Lincoln hit him. And, like, it's kind of a joke. Lincoln right say there's this expression, it's amazing how little the wind affects a perfectly struck ball. And I think, that loosens it. And then Ben hits the big double, and away we go. But, yeah, you could hear it and you could feel it. And even Point Park's coach told me yesterday we played, he said, man, this is the best environment we played in. And it was fun, and I just, glad we got to do it here, and glad these guys, like, what a great memory for life is now they're tackling each other. So maybe they're not as happy. I don't know. But
well, those are freshmen. They're young. They'll bounce back.
Some pretty good freshmen out there this week. So
Ben Kennedy is a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, we joked with Lincoln on the air, if you're going to make an all-time Taylor baseball team, you kind of just put shortstop to the side and just go, we'll figure that out later. Yeah. Catcher being the second one of that group.
Yeah.
Those two positions are one of those, you take whoever you want, I'll take the second guy and be more than happy.
Well, it's if you have a good shortstop and a good catcher, we had Lincoln, Brian Moore, it's hard not to win 40 games. But the thing with Ben is this, when they hit it to him, they're out. And like it's a huge thing in baseball. Is he's very fundamental with it. But no, and Braden Manning's had a great run, and Sam's had some huge hits. And how about Gable yesterday? And there's trust me when I say this, there's more. There's guys who aren't getting as many opportunities. There's more freshmen in that class.
Nick Crabtree is really good.
Yeah, and I mean, Jake Boyer has been great lately. Wes, I mean, there is, Fletcher's been. There is more coming in that class, and that's what when Coach Riggleman said, "Can we have your seniors up here?" I said, "Yeah, there's 4 of them. So heads up, everybody." No, there's and this is the way it should be. Like, Taylor baseball is not going anywhere. It will withstand graduating classes. It will withstand when I'm no longer the coach, although our athletic director did offer me a contract extension.
Hey, all right. Congratulations.
But it's not going anywhere, and it's the whole idea is to be built to last and to be the idea is like, hey, if we can be good every year, then some year something special happens. So I do want to say this, Rick. Hosting this thing is a huge event, and since I'm up here, I better start with sports information. But Jake Chipka is the best baseball SID in the country. He cares so much about getting it right. And I was at our conference meeting, people were talking about everything, this is wrong or that. And it's like, yeah, I don't deal with any of that because this guy cares a lot. And he's mentored by the original Seth Michael, the original baseball SID. Once we got him over from the dark side over here to Taylor.
Seth, how many games do we sit outside in 40-degree weather, and now we're in the press box and just loving it, right?
Yeah.
He says nothing. He nods. Seth says no words, but it's okay.
And we got the student staff up here. We got Rick and Lincoln on the call, and what you guys provide. I've gotten so many texts from coaches around the country being like, "Man, your broadcast is awesome. Everything looks so great, so sharp." And appreciate you guys. And I hate to say nice things about Casey Hackman, but those guys sitting out there. Is it just me? Casey was on the field a lot this tournament.
He worked. He actually got to work.
Yeah, well, I don't
Unfortunately.
know. Yeah, so him and I saw Adam out there a little bit, and of course Patience is with softball, and Joe, the SID crew, and then Natalie and the event crew, and
Lacey
Luthi,
West, your director of baseball operations.
Lacey does about a little bit of everything, but it takes so many people to run this well. And Sam Riggleman, the Hall of Fame coach, is the our site supervisor, and he does everything first class. And I think all of those things are reasons that people love hosting things at Taylor, whether it was volleyball or baseball. And like we obviously want to do it for baseball, but we want, anytime our teams have an opportunity to host, we want to showcase the greatest Christian college in America, and we want to bring people here, and people are blown away by how beautiful it is. And then, like you said, we see, Skip Trudeau is our vice president, or President Lindsay are out here, and like they care, and Gerald Maxwell, our provost, is out here, like they care, and they want Taylor to be excellent, and they want us to be excellent in like a way that represents Taylor well. And I'm very proud of our guys. But it takes so many people, and I know all those people are so happy that there's no if necessary game tomorrow. Chip, what a way to end, Chip. This is it, right? What a way to end a home schedule. So I just, it's a little awkward being the athletic director and the baseball coach to be like, hey, by the way, we're hosting this. Seth, what do you think? Is that okay with you? But it means a lot to these guys. I mean, you look at this and you see them, and like we exist for students at Taylor, right? The students don't exist for us. And to be able to like provide these opportunities and, just see, I look down, I see John Kavanaugh hanging out with guys, or a bunch of alums, and I just appreciate so much all the work that goes into it. So it's starting to feel like a football game where they hang out for like an hour after the game. But
well, you're an expert at getting people off the field during football games. So let's.
Hey, these guys can stay out here for 12 hours if they want. So
that's what we told people when we got done. We said we're going to probably have the longest Ivanhoe's post-game show ever. Yeah. Also presented by Nelson's.
Yeah, and the food truck's been a big hit. Yeah, been a big hit. So, yeah, but I appreciate it all, Rick. So,
I had something else to ask you, and then you had a wonderful soliloquy, and so we'll end on that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. So, thanks a lot.
Congrats. That is the head coach of the Trojans, Kyle Gould, Victory Diet Coke in hand, and on his way to go find some Nelson's chips. The scoreboard is on. No one in purple and gray has left. That's because the Trojans of Taylor have punched their second ever ticket to the NAIA World Series, the first time since 1969, 54 years in the making. And it's solidified with a statement win tonight, 12-0 against the hottest team coming into this opening round, Point Park. They scored 3 in the first, 7 in the third, and 2 more in the fifth, with Jack Ross picking up the win. Jack undefeated on the year. Let's get this right so I don't screw that up. Jack 6-0 with 8 saves and a 3.12 ERA. Well, the head coach of the Trojans, Kyle Gould, did not know when the NAIA World Series started, but because we have our fantastic program, I can tell you when the NAIA World Series, presented by Avista. I might need to work on how to pronounce that properly, potentially, maybe. Wink, wink. Starts May 26th through June 2nd. Lewiston, Idaho, the winner of each opening round, 10 sites at the campus of Lewis Clark State College. For those of you that listen to NAIA Ball, the podcast, that is, of course, the America's team, Lewis Clark State. 2 teams from Grant County, Indiana, are going to the NAIA World Series. The regular season champions of the Crossroads League Taylor and the league tournament champs, Indiana Wesleyan. The Wildcats had to sweat it out. They erased the deficit. They walked it off. Taylor threw a sledgehammer in the first and broke every piece of glass that Point Park had in their hands. The 40th win for the Taylor baseball team in 2023 is arguably the most memorable, not just of this year,
but in the last 50-plus years. A 12-0 final as Taylor punches their ticket to the second-ever World Series berth in program history, and there's no sign of the folks in purple leaving the field tonight. We thank our producer, Payne Moses. The executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is Seth Michael. We are indebted to Lincoln Reed for his wonderful wisdom this week. We hope you enjoyed listening to Lincoln, as he's forgotten more about baseball when he was eating breakfast this morning than most of us will know in a lifetime. It is my 10th year here at Taylor, and I knew I was going to do this. This place is awesome, and you saw it on full display tonight. A 12-0 Taylor win. They're on to the World Series. Lewiston, Idaho, the Trojans are coming your way in a few days. A fun night, a memorable night in Upland, Indiana. The Trojans play 3 games, win 3 games, and a World Series berth is in their back pocket. For now, this is our final broadcast of Taylor Baseball this season. We thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. 12-0 the final on the back of 9 hits and a stellar pitching and defensive performance from the purple and gray. This has been a presentation of Taylor Baseball on the Trojan Sports Network. Good night from Upland, Indiana.
Proceeding has been a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network.